FM Talk.
It is the Annie Fry Show. Thanks for spending some of your afternoon here with us on 97.1 FM Talk. Now, the president is in a cabinet meeting, the first cabinet meeting of 2026. And I find it interesting. When did the cabinet meeting start? Does anybody know when it was officially started? They never start when they're scheduled.
No, I think at about 10:30 it had started. I don't know exactly when it started though.
Well, it was still going on here just before the show started. I just going to play a little clip. Now, this is something that at times we would like go in and air and listen to it and listen to it live with you. But these things are hours long, and Fox News isn't covering it anymore either. But this is a treat. Here's President Trump at the cabinet meeting. He's got his Secretary of War to his left and his Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, to his right. And Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, is talking a little bit about the Venezuela mission and what it means to be America again.
In Afghanistan, what happened in Ukraine, a war that never would have occurred, what happened on October 7th in Israel, never would have happened under President Trump. So as a result, we're having to rebuild how our enemies perceive us. And when President Trump said, we're not getting a nuclear, Iran, you won't have a nuclear bomb, he meant it. And we sent those B-2s halfway around the world, and they never noticed. When he said, we're not going to tolerate trafficking drugs anymore in our hemisphere, we treat them like the Al-Qaeda of the Western Hemisphere, he meant it, and we're executing that. When you said, Mr. President, we're securing the border, the military was proud to do their part alongside Homeland Security to do that. Same thing with Iran right now, ensuring that they have all the options to make a deal. They should not pursue nuclear capabilities. So we will be prepared to deliver whatever this president expects of the War Department, just like we did this month. No other military in the world could have executed the most sophisticated, powerful raid, not just in American history, I would say in world history. What those men did going downtown, another country, the most secure place in the most secure base in the middle of the night without anybody knowing until those simultaneous bombs dropped 3 minutes before the helicopters dropped. No other country could coordinate that. No other president would have been willing to empower those warriors that way to be that effective. And that sends a message to every capital around the world that when President Trump speaks, he means business, and we are reestablishing deterrence at the War Department.
Thank you.
So President Trump, there's this thing he does when he's given other people the floor, and he's starting to feel like, I'd like to take the floor back. He has he nods his head in approval, but he kind of looks over in the direction, but he looks down, it literally will look down his nose with a nod or whatever. So he's ready to take this back. So it's amazing to listen to Pete Hegseth talk about, in this instance, when we covered this originally, some kids go in the backyard and they say, Game 7, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, down by 3. Count is 3-2. Annie steps up to the plate. I didn't do that, but that's a dream. It's a fantasy for little children. There are other kids who manifest in their head the scenario that Pete Hegseth just explained, that our military executed flawlessly to remove Maduro, an unelected narco trafficker, out of Venezuela to try to restore some sort of order in the Western Hemisphere. He's laying it out there, and he's doing it with gusto, like the Secretary of War is out there. And then President Trump comes in and does what he does best.
Great job you're doing. Just to finish up on that, the Somalian pirates over the years have stolen many ships. They would get large amounts of money for the ship. You have $1 billion ship, and the insurance companies didn't want to fight because, some of those ships are very flammable. They're carrying millions of barrels of oil, very flammable, very dangerous situation if they're shot at. So they wouldn't fight. We notified them a number of months ago. Anybody that does that gets the same treatment as a drug dealer sending their drugs in from Venezuela or anybody else. As you know, it's 97% down by water. So the drugs coming in by sea or by water is down 97%. Now we're also starting, that was the more difficult route. Now we're starting to do that by land also. It will be, you'll see that happen as they come in and kill our people with drugs. I think the real number is 300,000 people a year, not 100, but whatever it is, it's a lot of people, hundreds of thousands of people. They're going to get hit. But also we added to the list the Somalian pirates that go out on a boat similar type boat. Actually, not quite as fast, not quite as nice as you can imagine, but they get the same missile that we give to the people that are bringing drugs. And so far, we haven't seen anybody going out. So the traffic is not being interfered with by people pirating our ships. Not our ships, ships all over the world. I said, make it for any country. We're doing the rest of the world a favor. And it's a very effective favor, but we see very little pirating nowadays. You used to have ships being taken every single, like 2 or 3 a week, these massive ships that be brought in to some place in Somalia, which I don't even know is it a country. We have Ilhan Omar left, and then she gives us lectures on the Constitution of the United States. These people are, what they've done to rip off our country is terrible, but the pirating has essentially stopped. They know that if anybody even makes a move toward a ship, they get the ultimate treatment. They will go to wherever they want to go, but it's probably not going to be to heaven. I can't imagine, but they.
Okay.
I was waiting for the payoff.
Okay. That's President Trump really laying the land out clearly for us to consume about their efforts to stop the pouring of narcotics into our country. I mean, when you think about the border being secure, and a lot of people think of border security and the problem of having a porous or open border, you think of what the politics want you to think, which is your heartstring issue on whether you want that thing locked down and there's nothing that's going to get through, or you have a heart issue, a compassion issue for people who might be coming to the United States of America for a better life, to escape the drug lords from the other countries where they live, third world countries where they're run by gangs and narco terrorists. Yeah, they're fleeing to our country through the porous border that the narco terrorists are fleeing into our country through. It's the same pathway. And not only are they trafficking drugs, but they're also trafficking humans. They're trafficking children. They're trafficking women. You want to stop that? And the answer is, of course you do. And of course, the majority of America does. And the president has locked it down. And it's not enough to just say, we're going to stop it at the southern border. We're going to make sure everywhere that drugs are funneling into our country, that stops. We will find you. And basically what he just said there is, we will kill you. If you're coming to our shores with a boatload of narcotics to sell them into our country, we will kill you. I have no problem with doing this in the water. That's fine with me. And the president, the way he talks about it, he dehumanizes these people who are trafficking these drugs into our country. Thank you. They deserve to be dehumanized. It's a choice that they made. So the cabinet meeting potentially still going on here. We are following this morning, super early. Tom Homan held a press conference in Minneapolis, and it's lovely to hear Tom Homan come, and he really manages to set the tone and also to convey a message that isn't emotional, not in a negative way, at least. It's not sensationalized is a better way to say that. He's not putting himself in a position there where he's going to go there and you walk away thinking, gosh, that was all about Tom Homan. And I think that is, a bit of the criticism of the individuals who were in Minneapolis before that may have sensationalized the process. There are criticisms out there surrounding Bovino and Kristi Noem, but they have not lost the president's support. The people who are criticizing and suggesting that those two individuals are not in the good graces of the administration, they have, since the shift in personnel there has been made, they have not lost the president's support at all. But Tom Homan comes in, and to suggest that somehow or another Tom Homan's presence in Minneapolis is kind of a stand down, that maybe Walz and Fry both were able to talk the president down a little bit, lessen the impact and the influence that the Trump administration and their immigration enforcement might have in Minneapolis. Oh no, that is absolutely not what we are seeing here. And here's Tom Homan.
I've been on the ground less than 3 full days. I got in here Monday. President of the United States called me Monday morning and asked me to deploy here. Got here Monday evening, and I'm staying till the problem's gone.
That's the message that he has to say here. I'm staying till the problem is gone.
But we've made a lot of progress in the last 3 days.
So he comes to Minneapolis and to Minnesota. He does it under the direction, the deployment, as he referred to it, of President Trump. And, some people are saying this is some sort of concession maybe that the Trump administration has put into place. I actually think it's an elevation of a promise to, stick with the plan. And when you put Tom Homan on the scene, when you position him in a way that he can effectively do the job that everybody was sent there to do, you're going to see someone who's not really interested in the politics and the optics of it, just in the mission of it. He's not really a politician. And the fact that he isn't a politician actually kind of makes him feel like a better politician, because you know exactly what you get when you see Tom Homan. He does not mince words.
In my meetings with folks so far, and most importantly, the governor and the AG, the Mayor Fry, we didn't agree on everything. I didn't expect to agree on anything. I've heard many people want to know why we're talking to people who they don't consider friends in administration. Bottom line is, you can't fix problems if you don't have discussions. I didn't come to Minnesota for photo ops or headlines. You haven't seen me. I came here to seek solutions, and that's what we're going to do. And we come a long way, and we got some good wins for the people of Minnesota, I think, and for the administration and for the safety security of this city.
So that's the point. That's the purpose of him being there. And, you know, I'm kind of thinking to myself, we should maybe send Tom Homan to begin with. I don't know that Tom Homan would be received the way he is right now, or come in with the weight and authority that he is right now, if they wouldn't look at him and go, okay, based on where we were and where we are now with Tom Homan, we prefer the Tom Homan route. That might be the way it is. Tim Walz has, this is a big shocker. Tim Walz has announced that he's never running for office again. I'm really disappointed in that. I was hoping for a few more goes at it.
I was hoping that he wouldn't necessarily run for governor, but he'd kind of work his way down the ladder.
Yeah.
You know, hoping that he would run for maybe a mayor of
Right.
a small town in the future. So, you know, that's all right, though. I guess everybody has to cut their losses somewhere.
Yeah. Tim Walz stepping down, it's just like, are there people who are going, oh my gosh, that's just, what a shame. Especially with this music in the background. It's just, I didn't see that coming. And
Let's play this for a good 2-3 minutes and just talk about the things we like about Tim Walz.
I like the jazz hands. And the way he looks into the camera.
I'm going to miss the flannel.
All right. Let's talk to Joe Concha when we come back. All right, let's talk about the bagel loan with Stewie. Why Stewart's American Mortgage when you're looking to acquire that new mortgage? Whether you're looking for a brand new mortgage or a new to you mortgage on a house that you're already living in, that's called a refinance, even a cash out refinance. When you partner with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage, 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Stewie is going to put you in a position to pay $0 in closing costs to get that job done. So you're going to get that brand new mortgage, whatever the low rate is that you're going to qualify for, that you're going to be able to get that with Stewie, but then you're going to get a super fast close, and you're not going to have to pay any of those closing cost fees that really hit you at the end, which sometimes, especially with a refinance, if you're locking in a lower rate, those closing costs can kind of drown out most of the benefit of getting that lower rate. So go with the bagel loan, go with Stewie, and pay $0 in closing costs with the bagel loan. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
I just got fired without warning. I found out because I couldn't log on to Slack or Outlook. So that was really fun. I don't know who needs to hear this, but your boss is not your friend ever, and you're not safe at your job. So you should cultivate backup options at all times because capitalism sucks and you're not safe, unfortunately. And I'm going to be fine, but a lot of people in my position wouldn't be fine. So I just want this to be a warning to whoever's out there and is getting cozy at their job. Don't.
Oh, what you know, Joe. Joe Concha, Fox News contributor.
Well, Joe, you and I both work in radio, so we're never comfortable with our jobs. We're always ready to be portable, but she blames capitalism. Capitalism sucks. She lost her job. People are losing their minds on the internet these days.
Yeah, I think that the internet's the worst thing to happen to any of us, including social media, where you just sit around and just put a film on your phone and, you know, before you know it, there's no producer, there's no editor there to say, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea. And then this is the result as you just played, Annie.
Yeah, I want to know what you think about. You've probably seen that VCU nurse who was like, find an ICE agent and inject them with a paralytic, or some of these other people who are taking their opportunity, like the mental illness that you could disagree with policies. You know, you and I just endured a Joe Biden 4-year presidency and you wrote the book on it. There was a lot to endure, but did you ever feel compelled to pour your innermost crazy thoughts out there on the internet for the world to see? What's wrong with these people?
What's wrong with them? I think that social media makes people less social. They don't see actual human beings and actually, you know, socialize, have conversations, debate, probably the most important thing. So it just goes right to the Charlie Kirk solution, which is, all right, let's just execute the guy. Or Luigi Mangione, where he kills this United Healthcare CEO, a guy who is, or was, I'm sorry, a husband and father of 2 children. He gets executed on a street about 5 blocks north of Fox News, just going out to get coffee before a meeting. And then you got to see a GoFundMe page, Annie, that is raised more than $1 million, and women going online saying they want to marry this guy. And, oh, what he did was justified because, oh, if you're mad about your health insurance, take out the health insurance CEO for a health insurance company that, by the way, Luigi Mangione didn't even have. So what was the point again exactly? I guess the point is that I think after Charlie Kirk, and particularly seeing that one Chicago teacher, like putting her finger to her throat, going bang, bang, and then she gets to keep her job, it's a permission slip to violence and to rage. And I think it's now the new normal. And it's only going to get worse before it ever gets better, if it ever gets better, Annie.
Oh, yeah, the lunacy of it is disconcerting to take in. And if you have children, I have children, and we're always asking ourselves the question about, like, how do you let your kids naturally merge in with the rest of the crazies that exist there on social media? It's a challenge if it becomes the new normal. You look at something like Minneapolis, and it was getting out of hand. It looked like it was, on a fever pitch pace to go over the cliff, like nothing was going to get better. And then the Trump administration pivots, sends Tom Homan in. And this morning he had a pretty somber tone, but he didn't seem like he had adjusted his purpose there at all. Do you feel like the administration is doing what it needs to be doing to manage their side of the crazy on these issues?
Yeah, I think, Annie, the administration is saying, look, what we're doing is right. What we're doing is removing murderers, rapists, child traffickers, sex traffickers out of the country who are here illegally, who have committed these crimes. That's like being against cancer. Like, if you're against that, then you're against cancer, because these people literally are cancer within the community. Here's a funny stat, if you want to call it funny. In Texas, that's where 25% of all ICE arrests are happening in the country right now, because that's a true border state, right? Mm-hmm. Do you see any resistance, any violence in places like Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, El Paso, Houston? Of course not, because they're cooperating with ICE. If Minneapolis cooperated with ICE, we'd never have this problem. All they had to do was hand over all the criminals they have in their jails that were here illegally, and you wouldn't have to go house to house to do this stuff. It wouldn't lead to people like Alex Preddy. Again, I'm sure you've seen the video. You've talked about the video where he literally spit at his car, okay, give the finger to ICE, okay, kick in the rear view light not once but twice where it falls off. Yeah, they have to act because they're trying to arrest a rapist in that case. And we keep hearing how this is the perfect person. Anna Navarro on The View saying this is the guy that you want your daughter to marry. You have Democrats going there calling this guy where a vigil is held holy ground, right? I swear to God, I don't know whether he should have been shot or not, but I think that if you bring a gun in front of law enforcement, a 9mm, and you have, for whatever reason, 2 magazines on you as well, for those extra 50 bullets you may need for the elk, I guess, that are in Minneapolis these days, I'm sorry, you are begging for trouble, especially when you look at that video. This is a guy who wanted a confrontation, and when you do that with law enforcement and you approach them with a gun without telling them that you have one on you, this is going to be the result. So I don't know how this ends, but as this goes from city to city, I guess it depends on the city, right? So
Right.
Memphis and New Orleans, they have the highest murder rates in the country, Annie, and they're cooperating, and they're seeing a drastic drop in violent crime in their cities because Trump is there and ICE is there to make mayors and governors look really good. Hey, look at the way we lowered crime, but they don't want to do it because the far left base has them hostage at this point, and that's where we are.
Yeah, we even saw the mayor in D.C. kind of
Bowser.
compliment. Yeah, Muriel Bowser was saying, this has been good. She's not like looking for every opportunity to run to a camera and say that, but she certainly hasn't denied it. And that's DC. I think to myself about the chaos that exists in Minneapolis, and you're making a really intelligent point about like, what's the difference there? It's not even where the most arrests are even happening. And it, of course, is the elected officials, the people who need to create some sort of visceral emotional response that keeps people coming back to their side. Tim Walz, he kind of seems like he's starting to like fizzle out and fade away a little bit. Mayor Fry, I guess he's got a lot in his future in his mind that maybe he's only going up from here, but they are stoking the flames. They continue to double down, even though the Trump administration has very publicly made at least a pivot. Do you think that is there some sort of retribution that's going to take place for these elected officials who are intentionally seeking out chaos in their own communities?
Yeah, I think the retribution, as you brought up with Walz, is that he's not running again. Right? There's a reason for that. It's obviously the fraud in Minneapolis that he has presided over, where he knows that, the cows are coming home as far as investigations, and a lot more is going to be revealed there. That's why he's not running, because he probably could win in a place like Minnesota because it's that far left, right? They haven't voted for a Republican presidential candidate since 1972, which means they voted for Mondale. That's the one state that did. And Carter twice, and Kerry and Gore, and I could go on. But he won't even run because he knows that he can't win there. Obviously, he was thinking about running for president, which is hilarious. That's not going to happen. He even said on MS, whatever it is now, that he's not going to seek public office again. Well, of course not. So retribution's coming for him, I suppose, in the sense where at least he won't be a leader of a state anymore. But to your point around Jacob Fry, I could see totally the human broomstick ticket of Jacob Fry and David Hogg running in 2036. Sure. Why not? I mean, he thinks that he's some sort of Minuteman, Revolutionary War, battling, an authoritarian government, when if you just cooperated, you wouldn't have this problem. But he sees chaos as a ladder. Democrats see chaos as a ladder. They don't care what the body count is. If they can stay in power and get into power, in the case of Democrats with the midterm elections, they don't care about the people they say they represent. It's all about sowing chaos to make Trump look bad. And I think in the end, it's going to backfire on them. I do.
Yeah, never let a good crisis go to waste, as they say. Joe Concha speaking with us now. Fox News contributor, of course, as you know, and also host of Concha at Night. Launched on WABC and now syndicated, which is pretty fantastic. We're happy for you, Joe. Do you think that the fraud that we're seeing, is it... I feel like the fraud that's being uncovered right now is what we hoped Doge would do. Now, Doge is still doging. Do you think this fraud uncovering in Minneapolis is going to bear the fruit that's going to replicate itself around the country?
Yeah, I think COVID. Think of all the billions of dollars that just went out and there's no accountability. It's like going to Ukraine, basically, right? Like, does anybody know exactly how this money is being spent? So we're hearing about California is a big problem. New York probably as well. Any blue state, Chicago, they're supposed to spend all this money on improving schools, making them healthier and safer for COVID. And then you learn that none of that money was spent. Well, it went somewhere, right? Just like with Black Lives Matter and all the money they raised. that money went somewhere. Lincoln Project, that money went somewhere. It's not to help the people it purports to. So, yeah, it's only going to get worse before it gets better. I think for the listeners out there, though, many are kind of listening right now and saying, well, Joe, no one ever goes to jail. No one's actually ever held accountable. We hear about all these hearings, investigations, and nothing happens to anybody. Look at Hillary Clinton, for example. Look at Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, for example, and all these people that they were dead to rights and then nothing happens. That's the worry, that all these investigations and hearings, it's all for show. It's all sound and fury signifying nothing. And then nothing actually happens. So I think until I see someone actually in handcuffs, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah. More strongly worded letters. My goodness.
Right. Like the Titanic.
Yeah, don't even say that phrase out loud ever again, Pam Buddy. Send the letters if you want to, but nobody wants to hear that you're sending strongly worded letters. That's ridiculous. That's like what you send to the principal. Joe Concha, thanks for the time today. We look forward to having you back again soon, and congratulations on that newly syndicated nighttime show. We appreciate the time.
Hey, Sandy, they'll put anybody on radio these days. Go figure.
Take care. We'll talk to you again soon, Joe. Bye-bye.
Take care, my friend.
He's a Fox News contributor, author of The Greatest Comeback Ever, Inside Trump's Big Beautiful Bill, Big Beautiful Campaign. The Big Beautiful Bill is something we're going to talk about a little bit more throughout the course of today because of that scholarship. We had a conversation with Corey DeAngelis a little bit earlier this week. And if you have heard us talk with Corey, or maybe some other folks here on 97.1 talk with Corey DeAngelis, he's the preeminent voice for school choice across the country. It is his advocacy, it is his fight, and he is so well versed at school choice. It is National School Choice Week, but right here on the Annie Fry Show, we, along with our area Lutheran schools, are celebrating National Lutheran Schools Week. The Annie Fry Show scholarship is off and running, and we need your help. We're going to spend a couple more days, today and tomorrow, trying to get this scholarship as big as we possibly can to make sure that we can help as many local school kids choose the school that they want to. I did some research. This is going to blow your mind. I did some research in the state of Illinois. They estimate that the cost to educate a kid in the public education system in the state of Illinois is around $22,000. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sending 4 kids to school in the Lutheran school system at various different places for less than that amount of money. Everything that you've thought about private school, about parochial school, I want you to throw it out the window, and I want you to do your research if you've looked for an alternative to public school for your kid, and I want you to consider a Lutheran education. If you know what I'm talking about, and if you favor school choice for kids, let's stand together and grow this scholarship as much as we can in the next couple days. Here's how you can help me. You can donate any amount. Any amount is helpful to Annie26. Text Annie26 to 41444. Annie26 to 41444. You'll get prompted then to make a donation. You can also go to the website, Lisa, Lesa, stl.org/Annie. Please join us in this effort to come together and help our local kids access that Lutheran education. We'll take a quick break. Ryan's back in here in a minute. Don't go away.
It is National School Choice Week, and you can donate to the Annie Fry Show Scholarship Campaign with the Lutheran Elementary School Association by texting Annie26 to 41444 to donate, or go to lisastl.org/Annie, LESASTL.org/Annie. But the easiest way is Annie26 to 41444. Here on this Thursday, the 29th of January, it is 12:38. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Monica Crowley works in the White House, right? Isn't she like the hostess with the mostest? Like when you show up to the White House and you're from a foreign country, she prepares all of that for you. She organizes the arrival and makes sure everybody's on point. I don't know what her official job title is.
I'm actually learning a lot about Monica Crowley right now because I know that name and I see her post things on Twitter, but I did not know any of that about
She was
her.
a Fox News personality
Okay.
for a long time. She would be on Bill O'Reilly's show quite a lot. Her title is Ambassador and Chief of Protocol of the United States. And she's the former Assistant Secretary of the Treasury. So she knows a few things.
Okay.
I hesitate to even say this to you, Ryan Wiggins.
Oh, then please do.
3 hours ago, she tweeted, President Trump won 2020 in a landslide. You're going to learn soon.
I saw that tweet and it got me a little excited. I want to know more,
You get
Monica.
excited by oatmeal cream pies.
Yeah, I do. I get excited by
And?
a half of a oatmeal cream pie.
Yeah.
Anybody
A
wants to get
single-decker.
me one? Yeah, single decker's fine. If you want to half it that way.
You can half it any way you
Yeah, I
want.
guess so. But I did see this tweet, and she right below that too, she tweets yes to Donald J. Trump tweeting rigged election in 2020. So
I just feel like her presence is being like when Zelensky gets out of his entourage vehicle or whatever, and he like she's in the mix. She's not somebody who's been in the mix and is not in the mix. Like, was it Sidney Powell? Is that her name?
Mhm.
You have confidence in her?
partial. She's diligent, and I'll give her that. But
diligent.
well, because so many people weren't regarding the 2020 election. Some people would float some things out there, and then they just kind of go away because it's not popular to say anything about it anymore. And she wasn't.
We are not as a country ready for Sidney Powell, Rudy Giuliani, and Mike Lindell to have been on the right side of everything all the time. I am not ready for that.
I know.
Like, I am
know.
super skeptical of everything all the time. You are steeped in this stuff.
Well, I am, but enough to know that there are people like Sidney Powell and Mike Lindell who have put out a lot of false information about the 2020 election. They have.
I don't even know. Like, I'm so skeptical of all of it. But like, here's my process. And this is a responsibility that I feel like I have as a show host. If I were not on the air talking to you about these things with great consequence to my ability to feed my children, for me to just say and spew whatever I want, I trust nobody until they've proven over and over and over again. Not that they're always right, but they're always acting in good faith. I want only good faith people. And I am not batting 1,000 on the judgment of who the good faith people are, but I'm pretty good at it. But I also it's a teeny, okay, if you're a little bit loony on certain things, but you cite some facts, if I can look at those facts.
Exactly.
As, like a part of the Census Bureau posts numbers.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Well, I mean, if you can make a point and base it on statistics that don't have feelings, then I can look at the statistics and I can glean. But there's nobody out there on the election stuff that I look at and take anything anywhere for gospel. Like Mike Lindell, I don't wish anything bad for him. I'm not mad at him. I don't look at anything that he's saying and take it seriously as news. What he has done to push the electioneering stuff, I have been so skeptical of it. Like I said, I'm an instant skeptic, and you got to work real hard to get me on the other side of being a skeptic. There's really not that many people who I just trust. Essentially, what will happen is I will establish that other people, like people that I'm listening to, will have kind of the same stakes in life that I do. And then I just kind of start to understand the whys of how they might have a slant. And then I'll trust that maybe a little bit more, or I'll just give it a little more of my time, but I'm still trying to vet everything all the time. I just don't like if Mike Lindell is saying something, if, Sidney Powell, Rudy Giuliani, the counter position to those people worked so hard to discredit them that I feel like if they make the point and it's a valid point, it will get downstream to me. Yeah. And I will pick it out there, but I won't know that the genesis of it was a Rudy Giuliani point.
Yeah, right.
Because
right.
I'm not going to take anything that Rudy Giuliani said. I'm not going to play a clip for that. And I mean, I still think he's America's mayor. I think that, what he was able to do for New York, I have a special place in my heart for all of that. I say the same thing about George W. Bush. I know that a lot of people in the conservative movement right now despise George W. Bush. I think George W. Bush, and I see him on the pile, and I hear him saying, the whole world will hear you. And that is imprinted on my life, having been 17 when September 11th, 2001 happened. But the chances of maybe them being right about some of this stuff, like the victory lap they're going to take, a lot of people aren't going to pay attention to it because they've tuned them out. But like, what if they were completely vindicated? What if the information that Andrew Bailey, if you didn't see some of the videos, did you see that video I sent you last night?
Heck yeah.
I'm laying in bed last night trying to prepare for the show. And I'm just like watching, was it Jesse? I think it was Jesse Waters that I was watching. And he goes to David Sputt, who is one of the most interesting reporters that they have. I lean in. And he's like, the FBI is present in Fulton County, Georgia, blah, blah, blah. Oh, there's Andrew Bailey standing with his arms crossed, supervising. And I'm like, sweet. That, like, if I see Andrew Bailey there, now I'm into it. Now I want to know. Because I trust Andrew Bailey, because I know him personally.
Mm-hmm.
I just think to myself, we know nothing of what they're investigating. I think I read that they take 700 boxes of ballots. 700 boxes of ballots were seized. And it's not a subpoena. It's a criminal investigation.
Yeah.
They're taking evidence. So that's already been approved by a judge. Something is going to happen. And what likely is going to happen, and I'm saying this for the Ryan Wiggins of the world, I'm telling you to just calm down.
No.
Exactly. That's how I know I'm talking to the right people. When it comes out, whatever they find when it comes out, and it doesn't prove 100% of how bad you thought it was, if it proved 15% of what Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell and Mike Lindell said was true, that's a big freaking deal.
And that's where you got to temper yourself.
I'm talking to you. You don't talk to me. I'm tempered.
I'm actually talking to me also.
Well, I know, but you said you. Say me. Say I.
That's where I have to temper myself.
There we go. Now we're getting to it. I'm just saying, like, don't hold your breath. Don't get super pumped and excited. Wait for the information to come out. Wait for the facts to bear themselves out, and then consume it in and of itself, not in the context of everything that you've heard from people that was wrong and bad. And like, there are going to be people out there who are going to hype you up, and the people who are hyping you up probably want your clicks and views. Wait until the facts hype you up. And then if they hype you up, get hyped. Chest bump in the office. But don't tell people what's going on. That's what you gotta do.
Can I say one thing about Mike Lindell?
No, we gotta go to break.
That guy got into trouble because he had so much money.
Oh, I thought it was because he did drugs.
Well, no, he was past that by this time.
Yeah. He's got a really great story.
He does have an amazing testimony, but he spent his money on people who took advantage of him throughout this process. And that's been a problem for him.
Do you have Mike Lindell bed sheets?
No, New Kids on the Block.
was talking about my pillow, but anyway.
Oh.
We'll be right back. So Todd Sivia of Sivia Law, he's going to be in here with us next week because there are some things in 2026 you might be thinking about. Have you made your tax plan yet for this year? Here's the thing. Your tax obligation, your money and where you put it and how you protect your estate is bigger than just paying your taxes every year. So when you establish an estate plan that might involve some sort of trust establishment or a will, of course you need powers of attorney. You need somebody who knows how to navigate bob and weave, knows the laws. Like if you go look at all the different certifications, and like he's a real estate certified and everything that Todd Sivia has, he just covers all the bases. So when you go to Todd Sivia, he's going to ask you all the questions you didn't even know you had to have answered. It is thorough and it is good, and it will give you the peace of mind in the future to ensure that you are taken care of. Then you don't have to worry about these things through life transition because you've already taken care of it. Call 833-995-WILL. 833-995-WILL. Mention my name. Get that strategy session free. CiviaLaw.com.
All right, you guys, I think we could use a little tune-up, or at least some of us could. So this is about what?
Speaking of a tune-up.
What was I supposed to do?
If people want to donate to the scholarship drive, the most recent donation here, $78 from Anonymous. We are at $3,467. I need $33 to get us to $3,500 total. So if anybody would like to be that person, maybe donate a little bit more, we would take that as well, of course. Anything you have is helpful to the Lutheran School Scholarship, the Annie Fry Show Scholarship. This is just me and you making this happen. Text Annie26 to 41444.
It feels like some of us could use a tune-up on our public speaking skills. So we're going to go over a few points.
Do you want to be specific here?
No, I don't. I just want to say some of us. And if this applies to you, then great. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. The first one is use your voice and hands effectively. Omit nervous gestures. Is this something that you feel like you do? Use your voice and hands effectively.
Yes.
That was pretty good. I was doing it really well, though. Using your voice and hands effectively. Hear that?
You're not
Up and
using
down.
your
You didn't
hands
use your
at all.
hands.
I
once
am
in
now.
that.
Look, up, down, up, down, up, down. My hands going like this, like I'm bouncing a basketball.
You actually didn't start using your hands until you said, I use my hands really well.
Yeah,
Like this.
like this. But I did it, and I need credit for it. Second, grab attention. Annie, grab attention at the beginning and close with a dynamic end. How you doing on that?
I'm judging you right now.
I don't
Is
like
this
the way
about-
that this is
Is
gone.
this about us or is this about you?
This is about
Is this what you would refer to as self-help?
this is everyone's self-help, but not me help.
You can't self-help other people.
I can.
No,
And am.
no, you can't. It's
He
not-
is. Can and do.
All right. What does it say about words?
It doesn't say a whole lot about those.
Right.
It says
You're doing
this
great.
though. It says this though. Use humor, tell stories, and use effective language.
Hmm.
All right, next one is watch for feedback and adapt to it. Hmm?
Ryan, you're sucking in this segment
Hmm?
right now. How are you going to adapt?
I'm doing great. You guys are dropping
No,
the ball.
no.
If
You're
there
not
were-
watching.
If there were ever a less self-aware person in my life, I don't know who it is. Ryan,
I hate that is true. though.
Ryan will go. We'll have a meeting, and our bosses will slaughter us and be like, "You're trash." And Ryan will come out and be like, "Think we're doing pretty good." Our
Well,
boss-
that's
our
just
bosses-
optimism.
Our bosses don't tell us that.
Well,
not-
you're
not like
sucking
that.
in 10 areas, and I'll be like, yeah, but the 11th was pretty good.
The criticism is provided, but with a chuckle. And you're like, and Ryan's like, I'm gonna go with a chuckle.
I like the feeling that I
He
got
thinks
from
I'm
that.
funny.
That does happen. I like to think of myself as somebody who is self-aware, and then I realize many times
That is one of your
I am
self-aware
not.
lists
I am not at all.
points.
No clue what I'm doing.
I will say I'm envious of it though, because
Thank you.
do you consider yourself a warrior?
WARRIOR.
I saw that coming from a mile
Thank
away.
you. Thank you very much. Number 6 is use humor, tell stories, and
very
use
worried about
effective
this segment.
language.
I think you just said that one.
I know.
No. Okay. Got it.
How about this one?
He has cognitive decline.
Here's the funny part, though.
I do not. Many doctors, many tests have proved.
Yeah,
that I
they
am-
keep testing him to
in
figure out what's
top shape.
wrong. Haven't found the answer yet.
Go ahead, Ethan.
Nope,
Your-
that
the
ain't
floor
it.
is yours.
No. I'm enjoying this. Keep going, please.
Somebody is.
Okay, address this one. Nervousness is normal. Practice and prepare.
Have you ever been nervous before?
Have you ever
I
practiced
ever been
or
nervous?
prepared
Yes.
for anything?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I used to get very nervous before public speaking. I still will get
Have
a
you
little bit.
have you ever been nervous around this show?
The first time I was on this show, oh my gosh, I got a great story. I don't know if I've ever told this story or
Say-
turd it.
You almost said turd.
Turd this
I don't know if
story.
I've ever turned this story.
This is a segment about public speaking.
You know what I mean? You know what we should come back and do in the 2:00 hour is me just turd this thing out.
Somebody make a donation to the scholarship and instead of anonymous, put the word turd in there. Turd Wiggins. Please
Turd Ferguson.
text to Annie 26 to 41444. Listen, I'll take your money in any way that you're willing to
Unbelievable.
give it to me.
What
Please.
what a turn.
I got a Turd Ferguson out here with a donation. Man, Dustin Grage from Minnesota when we come back. Matt Hayes and Home Shield Foundation Repair, waiting for your phone call for your basement concern, that wet basement, the cracks that have started in your basement, whatever foundation concern that you have right now. Matt Hayes is the guy who has the answers, and his number is 314-271-9900. Call Home Shield Foundation Repair at 314-271-9900. They are there to help you with all of those foundation concerns. And when you call Home Shield Foundation Repair, you're calling a local company. Somebody from the ground up. Matt Hayes has built this company because he has the expertise and the best staff in the business to ensure that when you call 314-271-9900, you're getting experts, you're getting confidence, you're getting their expertise and knowing that they can solve your unique problem and do it at a fair price. Call Matt Hayes at 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. And you can look them up online at their website and learn all about the processes that they do at homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Tell me, Brady, Fox News, as a bill to avoid a partial government shutdown fails to advance.
7 Republicans joined all Democrats to kill a 6-bill minibus funding the Departments of Homeland Security, the military, and a host of other agencies. Democrats want to see the bill funding DHS broken off from the rest of the package, pushing for changes to the way immigration enforcement is conducted. A White House official says the Trump administration is in discussions with both parties to avoid a shutdown. The failure of the minibus makes the possibility of a partial government shutdown Friday at midnight all the more likely.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on the Hill. President Trump saying during a cabinet meeting today he thinks they're getting close on avoiding a shutdown and that he doesn't think the Democrats want one either. Border czar Tom Homan has been working on changes in ICE operations on the ground in Minnesota, including targeted enforcement and a possible end to roving patrols.
The roving patrols have been controversial because that is when agents can drive around, pop out of their car, question people, ask for identification. Homan did say, though, if you are in the country illegally, it is never off the table to be encountered or questioned.
Fox's Matt Finn in Minneapolis. A man who squirted vinegar at Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is now facing federal charges. It happened as the Democrat was holding a town hall event in Minneapolis this week. The Justice Department charging that suspect with forcibly assaulting, opposing, impeding, and intimidating Omar. Court papers show the man has a criminal history and has made online posts supportive of President Trump. A Pentagon message to Iran.
They have all the options to make a deal. They should not pursue nuclear capabilities. We will be prepared to deliver whatever this president expects of the War Department.
War Secretary Pete Hegseth during the cabinet meeting today after the president's warning this week that Iran should negotiate and that an armada was heading there. Iranian officials have vowed an unprecedented response if attacked. America's listening to Fox News.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Our temperatures this afternoon hanging right around 20 degrees, a fair amount of clouds in place. Tonight, cloudy skies, a little bit of light snow and snow flurries, no more than a dusting in spots. 2 for the overnight low. On Friday, partly sunny, very cold, 15, 19 Saturday. Another shot of some light snow and snow flurries on Sunday as we get up to 28. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Don't freeze as it gets colder. If your furnace isn't working, Air Comfort Service can get you back in your comfort zone fast with a service call for only $99. Get your furnace serviced. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Are you doing it? You regret jumping out before such a consequential moment?
No, and part of it was true. Look, I recognize that I'm a lightning rod, and this is a tough space for I'm in because I know they hate me personally, and they take it out on my constituents because old white guys who are former governors tend to land on their feet okay type of thing. But in all fairness on the timing, I removed myself, and then 2 days later, Renee Good is murdered. But I think one of the things is I have no political consideration, will never run for an elected office again.
Never again.
Never again. And I will just do the work. And what I found is, again, I'm going to say this, there's heroes on the streets that we don't know their names. They're never going to run for office. And those grassroots leaders brought this administration to their knees this week to do something about it. So there's other ways to serve, and I'll find them.
It's like a threat from Governor Tim Walz there. And, you know, if you listen to the man himself, old white guys, they end up just fine. That seems racist. Anyway, he's not going to be anybody's problem, at least in an elected capacity any longer, including Dustin Grage, who joins us once again, Minnesota-based columnist for Town Hall. And I highly encourage you to follow him on X at Grage Dustin. Dustin, welcome back. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Annie.
It sounds like Governor Tim Walz is going to unburden you from what has been there. Is Minnesota prepared for the next step forward when Governor Tim Walz is no longer there to oversee?
Well, I think everyone in Minnesota is pretty happy about that. The fact that we can be assured that there's not even a remote chance this man will be in office again, at least running for office. Now, there's always the chance, because notice that specific wording by him during that interview, I will never run for political office again. Never said he wouldn't be in political office again, as in Amy Klobuchar, his handpicked candidate for governor, who met with him the day before he drops out, doesn't appoint him to her U.S. Senate seat if she were to get elected. So I don't think we're quite out of the woods yet with Tim Walz, but I do believe he is right. He's never going to actually run for office again. I do believe he's right there.
Do you feel as though Minnesota, last time you and I had a conversation, I talked to you about the blue state I live in. I live in Illinois, and I know so many people that are Illinoisans who love their state. They don't want to move. The answer is always like, hate it, why don't you move? You know the corruption exists, and you feel like you're screaming, but the rest of the country, when you're in the Midwest, they don't pay attention to it. Now all eyes are on Minnesota, and people like you, Dustin, have been covering this and sharing this with the world, waiting for people to pay attention, and now everybody's looking. What's the temperament right now of the Minnesota voter with everything happening in Minneapolis? Is that a real reflection of Minnesota as a whole and what they want to have going forward?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, when you look at these protests, they're predominantly only occurring in the Twin Cities metro. Even if you get out to Maple Grove, Minnesota, which is maybe 15 miles out from there, the police departments are responding very quickly to these instances of staying outside hotels, trashing lobbies. They didn't get near the building. They slapped the sign with the shovel a couple times. And then from there, disruption was put in place by the local PD. It was shut down almost immediately. People were being arrested. That's not happening in Minneapolis. They are calling for disruption, basically like unlawful assembly is what it's called. And it will take an hour for MPD to even respond after unlawful assembly has occurred. So they're just not doing this in Minneapolis. But the moment you leave that area, it immediately starts to dissipate. And even still, we're only talking about 20,000 people protesting, which might seem like a lot, but in reality, it's really not. We've had much larger protests for much smaller issues at the end of the day. And even when you look at the polling does say that if you are in the country illegally, we want you deported still, no matter the reason, no matter how long you've been here. The polling states this. And a far more important piece of this polling is 90-10, as in 90% of Minnesota voters believe Minnesota Democrats have not done enough to combat the fraud that has consumed the state.
Yeah.
That is the far more important detail there. And as this kind of sets and fades away, because Tom Homan's coming to town, he's a true professional, a true operator. I have very high confidence in him and being able to kind of turn this PR crisis a little bit around. And then, the light's going to be shining on fraud again, because also we're coming up to our legislative session, and that's going to be the conversation going forward. Because currently the proposals I'm hearing at the legislature here in Minnesota in regards to ICE, because they can't do anything as the state and local governments, federal authority oversees you. The policies they're talking about is how do we have a rent moratorium and emergency funding for mortgages for the people who are too afraid to go to work because of ICE. They, in other words, are saying, we're not going to go work, and we want the government to fund our lives going forward. We tried this in COVID. We tried all these different things. It destroyed our state. We saw mass domestic migration out of state for all these failed policies, and they just want to bring them back again. At the end of the day, this isn't going to work out well for them the way they think it might be planned out.
Oh my gosh. Dustin Grage with us right now. Go to dustingrage.com and follow him on X at Grage Dustin. He is in Minnesota. He works with Town Hall, providing political analysis and research. That's super annoying. Why would you be afraid of ICE if you were here legally? Like, what fear do these people have? What kind of justified fear that should be discussed on the people's time and dime in the legislature should these people have to go to work where they can make money that then, of course, the state of Minnesota can tax that income? Why should they be afraid to go to work if they're here legally?
Well, of course, you don't have to be. And as Tom Homan said today, because then this whole worry of, the Trump supporters, like, well, they're backing off. Well, Tom Homan made it very clear today during the presser that if you are here illegally, you are never off the table. Now, the focus is definitely going to be positioning back toward violent, illegal, criminal, illegal aliens, not the baker who's been here for 30 years, but they entered the country illegally. Now, granted, that baker should still have to go home because there's a long line of individuals who are trying to come here the right way. And maybe they want to open a bakery. And you know what? I'd rather have them around than the people who came here and disrupted our immigration system and put us in the situation we are in today. I think the people who voluntarily left the country to try to go back and do it the right way deserve to be at the front of the line, not the people trying to take advantage of our immigration system. And the polling clearly reflects that. We just have to somehow package this a little bit better. And maybe Bavino was a little bit too in your face about it. And, he's going to be in a great place somewhere else in the administration. And we appreciate all the work he did to this point. Tom Homan's a true professional, a true operator. And I have utmost confidence in him that we're going to turn a little bit of this, again, minor polling in comparison to the fraud that's overtaken the state. We're going to be turning things around here pretty quickly and have a really good shot at several statewide seats.
It's really an interesting, I'm very curious as your perspective as a Minnesotan on really the optics of good policy in play in Minnesota, supported by the public. The only kind of policy you can have if you want to have a sovereign nation, which is borders that matter. And people knew what they were voting for when they elected Donald Trump. It was a leading issue. They wanted a sovereign country once again. And that means you have to go deport the people who are here illegally and let's get the criminals right away. That's an incredibly popular policy. After the Preddy death, the Preddy shooting, There's a lot of discussions that was a different scenario in my view than the Renee Good shooting, both incredibly unfortunate. You've got protesters who are being stoked by the elected officials there and encouraged to accost these people carrying out lawful orders under the authority of the federal government. So did it get optically to the place with Kristi Noem and Bovino there, do you think, as a Minnesotan? Was it a distraction to the policy like you're talking about that really many people support?
I mean, yeah, both of the instances were definitely quote unquote a distraction from the fraud, and that's clearly being used as a wedge tool for the Democrats here. Now, I don't think the Preddy and the Renee Good situations are entirely very different. With Preddy, we also just saw a new video come out yesterday of him kicking out a taillight and spitting at federal agents just the week prior to his shooting. And
while also
yes,
carrying a
although that
firearm
doesn't-
at the same time that
Yeah,
he
and-
was vandalizing that.
Exactly. And while that doesn't mean he deserves death, what it does show is important context that this isn't new to him, that
Yeah.
he has been following these federal agents around all day, just like Renee Good was. And it's at the end of the day, everything's going to come down to this. These signal chats. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of them yet to this point, but
Yeah, they're out
Cam
there.
Higbee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cam Higbee ended up blowing this one off the top. Now, granted, there were state reps saying there were signal chats out there, but Cam actually went in there and infiltrated them and showed who was actually in them. And what we found is there are dozens, Annie, dozens of elected Democrats from school board to state rep to state senator, and possibly even the Lieutenant Governor, Peggy Flanagan, who, by the way, and I quote, just 3 months ago said to put your bodies on the line. These are the individuals in the signal chats doxing the locations of federal agents and the missions they are going on, telling people to get in front of law enforcement, disrupt the processes, which, by the way, also, I've been pointing this out to more people as this has come, but this didn't start with Metro Surge getting in front of these law enforcement officers. It actually started in June of 2025, believe it or not. Then there was an operation in downtown Minneapolis at a Mexican restaurant, I believe. But in this instance, DHS and HSI were conducting an investigation with the FBI into a drug and human trafficking investigation. This investigation ended up leading to a storage locker that brought out 900 pounds of crystal meth off the streets of Minnesota. 900 pounds, the largest drug bust in the history of Minnesota. And what were Democrat politicians doing during this? Disrupting federal law enforcement. An individual was even arrested for assaulting an officer while conducting this investigation at this raid. This isn't new.
No.
So what the Trump administration does need to understand is that regardless of quote unquote the optics, these people are here professionally. These people are very organized and they are doing this very intentionally. This was also 2 weeks before the LA riots broke out as well. Many are familiar as kind of the start of all this. It really isn't. It actually started in Minneapolis. Few people actually know that, but I've been bringing that more to the light as these interviews have been coming in, because I do think it's important for people to realize how organized this criminal enterprise essentially is, because there are people being paid to organize individuals to get in front of law enforcement and create this chaos. Because at the end of the day, 3,000 agents wouldn't be in the state of Minnesota right now if these individuals didn't impede on law enforcement in a professional manner. And unfortunately, that's brought us to the situation where we are now. It has brought these individuals forward to do this. And ultimately, it has cost the lives of 2 people because of the toxicity that Democrats have brought to the table on this issue.
Dustin, last question before we let you go. And I love tapping into, like, that's the exact kind of story that we want from you, is really the context. Everybody dips in, the national audience goes all eyes on Minnesota, specifically Minneapolis. And you're like, no, there's a bigger story here. And while Minneapolis and Minnesota has the nation's attention, let's focus on these types of contextual stories. But, Minnesota is a blue state. I don't think anyone is expecting it to be a red state based on prior history. But I'm curious what your thoughts are on the deportations that are taking place, but also the fraud that is about to be exposed. Do you think that there is enough of a sea change that could happen in the next couple years that Minnesota might be more in play for its citizens and taxpayers come maybe a next presidential election?
Well, I'll tell you this, Annie, in the next 10 months, that's possible. The next
Okay.
10 months. So in November of this year, I just got to point out also, we just had probably the best recruit Republicans have ever had in modern history for a statewide candidate. Michelle Tafoya,
Yes.
former NBC sideline reporter, is now running for U.S. Senate. She is drawing in a lot of money and a lot of attention to the state. She's the perfect candidate, although she is pro-choice, and I adamantly disagree with her stance on that. She may be the perfect candidate for this state in particular, because the abortion issue was unfortunately an issue that ended up hurting us last cycle. We lost 2 statewide elections by less than half a percentage point. That was the margin. Now, this issue ended up deciding probably 5 to 10 potentially points based on the amount of money they spent on the ads on abortion. That issue's off the table now for top of ticket for Republicans, because Michelle Tafoya might be top of ticket for us. It will also bring in money, resources. We also have several amazing candidates running for governor. We've got a great issue in the fraud coming with our state auditor position, our AG's position. Every national organization has told me personally, we are in the top 5 targets for every statewide and local seat.
That's so exciting.
We are going to be heavily targeted, and I believe that we will have, there's no doubt we will have gains. Currently in Minnesota, we have a tied state house, and that's it. Everything else is Democrat, but the maps look fantastic for Senate. We're going to see a massive push toward us this cycle. And at a minimum, I would see us at least gaining the AG seat back, because Keith Ellison is low-hanging fruit, and we have a great opportunity there as well.
Oh, well, if you keep telling the truth, we're going to keep having you here on our show and exposing what's really going on there. It's great to hear that there is hope in front of this situation. Probably a low moment for Minneapolis, Minnesota, but if it's a controlled field burn and there's some growth ahead, Dustin, you're going to be a part of that, and we're thankful you're a part of us, our show here today. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Annie.
Take care. We'll talk to you again soon. That's Dustin Grage. I encourage you to go to @Grage Dustin, Grage Dustin on X, and stay in contact with what's going on from a Minnesota, Minneapolis specific place right now. Obviously, it's one of the biggest stories in the nation, but he's there covering it from the ground. You can go to DustinGrage.com or read his columns at Town Hall. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Joseph Lavorgna is going to be with us at 1:30. How exciting to have the counselor to Secretary Scott Bessent on the Annie Fry Show. We're going to talk a little bit about Trump accounts and what this administration is doing to build and grow this economy. Joseph Lavorgna at 1:30. We'll be right back. Air Comfort Service. It's going to be cold again, like 0. Or you listen to Dave Murray when he gives the report, and he's like, tonight, 2. And I'm like, 2 what? And it's 2 degrees. It's a pair of degrees for us tonight here in the St. Louis area. That is not enough degrees. We need more of them. Dave Murray, go get them. In the meantime, if your furnace isn't doing the trick for you, you need to go get Air Comfort Service. 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. Air Comfort Service is there to help you 24/7 with emergency service for you or for your loved one. I implore you to put this number in your phone if you are caring for a loved one, mom or dad, they're in their own home. And if they're like, oh, it's fine, it'll be okay, I put on an extra blanket or whatever, and it's 60 degrees and then it's 58 degrees in their house because the furnace isn't working, you need somebody who you can trust to go take care of mom and that furnace immediately. Those people are at Air Comfort Service. 314-513-0091. Call 314-513-0091 and tell Air Comfort Service you could use their help. You can find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
Ever learn how to turn those savings into lasting income? And that's where Financial and Tax Architects comes in. They help people across St. Louis work to protect their life savings, minimize taxes, and retire with confidence. Now, they do a Retirement Planning 101 class, and it shows you exactly what others often miss: how to avoid hidden tax traps in your 401k or IRA, and how to make smarter decisions about Social Security. Now, this is a one-night, 2.5-hour, no-cost educational event. Seats fill up fast. And at FTA, they like to say that financial peace of mind in retirement is all about income. Lose the job and keep the paycheck. That's exactly what FTA will help you do. So if you're within 10 years of retirement or already retired, you can't afford to miss it. Call 314-888-5101 or go to fta-ria.com and reserve your seat now.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Joseph Lavorgna is going to be with us in about 5 minutes from right now. He's the counselor to Secretary Scott Bessent. Let me ask you this question about Trump accounts. $1,000 to kids born in 2025 and like up to the future until the Democrats are like, no, we don't like that kind of government handout. Is there any part of you that thinks this is like socialistic handout type of non-conservative, fiscal conservative?
Well,
policy?
If taken at face value, I would say maybe. But amidst the world that we live in, there's going to have to be some sort of change. I mean, we can't do what we're doing and just expect that Social Security is not going to run out of money, because it will.
If it's really successful, does it replace Social Security? I feel like there's going to have to be, like, if it is successful, like an overlap. We won't see it.
No, we won't.
All of our kids are too old for it.
My problem with it is that I'm constantly complaining about creative solutions. And then when I see one, I'm not going to go, yeah, it's kind of like, it's dabbling. Like, because this is a creative solution to that problem, but it's a long-term one.
Yeah. I have heard commentators suggest that this is not the right way. And I think it's great. And I'm not, my kids are too old to benefit from it. That's going to be one of the questions that I ask Joseph Lavorgna, like, is this the base plan? Is there an expansion? Because a lot of people start going, well, what about my $1,000? I don't have kids. I can't benefit from this. Well, I have 4 kids and my kids are too old for it. So it's not like a kid versus no kid thing. But don't we need to get into the process of having a family-centered idea about the future of this country? Don't we need to be investing once again in families and encouraging people to have children? We have a population decline problem right now, and America needs to be the place where you go to build, to grow, and nurture a family. And everything that we have been doing from a government regulation standpoint for decades now has been ripping the family apart. Intentionally going, we're going to take the dad out of the picture, and guess what? The government will show up there and you just call the government your daddy. That's the whole element that has been put in place, and we'll give you just enough so you can never get off of it. That's where we have been. This is an alternative to that. And, I'm like, kind of like you said, you looking for creative ideas. This is one. I'm super open to it, but explain to me why it's not just a handout.
I am too. And encouraging U.S. births is a huge part of this.
Yes.
I mean, we need that bad. To the person who says, well, where's my $1,000? Well, you're going to get Social Security. I mean, there's your $1,000 right there, and then some. And then also, I would say the only criticism I have of this whole program is that a lot of times when government programs start with the intention of replacing something else, the other thing never gets replaced. And so you just grow government.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is a step in the right direction, but I'm willing to take that shot right now.
We need to rip the Band-Aid off while Donald Trump is not going to have another term. He can, inflict some of the growing pains right now, but also employing creative ideas. I think that's 100% the way we need to be. So Joseph Lavorgna will be with us. He's a counselor to Secretary Scott Bessent, one of my absolute favorite people in the administration. And a big shout out to my friend Ben, who donated $25 to the Annie Fry Show Lutheran School Scholarship by texting Annie 26 to 41444. Annie 26 to 41444. Thank you, Ben, for the $25. And another $25 donation to the scholarship from Ryan the Turd Wiggins.
Whoa, hey, I'll have to bellow that one. Ryan the Turd Wiggins. Somebody found out what my middle name was.
It actually says, I think we knew. It actually says Wiggin because I think the D and the S are too close together. I'll take it. I like it even more.
Okay.
Keep them coming. Let's keep growing this scholarship. We are over in total $30,000 on this endowed scholarship, but we have a tall order in front of us and I need your help. Text Annie 26 to 41444 to be a part of the Annie Fry Show Family Scholarship to help area kids access a Lutheran education with less financial burden. We can do this together. I need your help, though. You can also go to lesastl.org/Annie and make a donation. Joseph Lavorgna, the counselor to Secretary Scott Bessent. Next.
Comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Hey, celebrate the new year with our friends from Zero Res. Carpet, tiles, upholstery, hard surfaces, basically everything in your home can be Zero Resified. So it's time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res. Bring in the new year with 3 rooms of carpet cleaned at just $119, plus a free hallway and 15% off regularly priced services when you mention 97.1 FM Talk. 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Hi, it's Mark Cox with Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Welcome back, Gloria. For years now, you've been on 97.1 helping families plan that next big move with your Guaranteed Sold program. For those planning to sell their home this year, what's your advice for sellers?
Thank you. My advice is simple. Do your homework before listing your home. Our market is stabilizing, inventory is tightening and moving fast. In other words, the realtor you choose to sell your home really matters. That's why my sellers love my Guaranteed Sale program. I guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price and time frame, or I will buy it myself. I have thousands of buyers in my buyers in waiting database, so your home may already been sold before it's ever hit the market. Higher demand, more competition, and more money for your home.
Friends, do what I did. Call Gloria Liu right now at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree upon price and possession date.
Consistently right.
It's a ritual.
97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
We've got business leaders, we've got philanthropists, we've got companies that are going to talk about contributing to the Trump account. And today we want to raise the profile. We want all Americans to start signing up. So just this week, since the start of filing season with the IRS, we have had 600,000 families out of an estimated 25 million already fill out Form 4547.
So you've got Scott Bessent there, Secretary Bessent. He's got a lot of things on his plate. He's one of my favorite members of the cabinet. I listen closely when he speaks, talking about the participation, the partnership right now between the public sector and the private sector with innovative new ideas to invest in American families. I am all ears. Let's speak to our next guest. Joseph Lavorgna joins us, the counselor to Secretary Scott Bessent. Thank you so much for being with us today, Joseph. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you.
So I want to give you the opportunity to give me your elevator pitch here for the Trump accounts in your own words, because when I hear people talking about this, it's such an interesting, unique idea that a lot of people aren't 100% sure what to make of it. Why the genesis of Trump accounts?
Sure. Let me just add, I believe if I heard the secretary this morning in the cabinet meeting with the president, I believe since yesterday is another 400,000. So I believe 1 million people now. You could almost quote me on that. Almost 1 million people now, or about 1 million people have signed up for it. So yes, it's been very, very exciting, and we're off to a great start. The genesis behind the Trump accounts is, as you said at the outset, is investing in families, but more specifically investing in children. And the government is giving effectively any child born between January last year and December of 28. So during the Trump term, any child born will get $1,000. Let's call it seed capital. It's an investment in their future, and then thereafter, every year, upwards of $5,000 can be contributed. Companies, employers can give $2,500 of that $5,000, no tax on it, and that will grow tax-free. Tracking a broad stock market, which has had great historical returns. And this is a great way for people to understand the powers and magic of compound interest. They're going to own a piece of the U.S. economy. They'll be a stakeholder in U.S. capitalism. They'll be able to build wealth. It's incentivized savings. And when you look at the math and you look at historical returns, maximum contributions could net someone at 18 over $300,000. You held another 10 years, the compound interest could be worth over $1 million. So it's just a great way to get families exposed to equities, many of which have not ever even had a piece of the capitalist system.
Yeah, there's an entire population of taxpayers, hardworking people, middle class, maybe lower middle class or low income families who wouldn't even ever think that they would be involved in a conversation like this, like the idea of investing. I'm looking at trumpaccounts.gov, and it is such a well put together website. It's incredibly simple to use. It's interactive. That's where people can go to sign up, trumpaccounts.gov. Let me throw a criticism that I heard from even somebody on the right side of the aisle, lobbying against Trump accounts, suggesting that this is kind of a fluffed up version of socialism. It's a handout, but if it's a handout for people you like, then it's okay. Why is this not that, Joseph Lavorgna?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, not to be a wise guy or anything. I don't understand that comment. Not your comment. I don't understand that criticism at all, because this is savings. You're giving somebody a small piece. I mean, $1,000 is not an insignificant amount of money, but it's in the grand scheme of things, this is a small investment that has huge payoff, and then you could choose then to contribute and add to it, to save for the future, invest in the market, let the market help generate wealth. You become a stakeholder in the system. It's the exact opposite of socialism. Nobody's forcing anybody to do this. This is the government. You sign up. We're making it easy to do it. You sign up. You get a little bit of a piece in the system, and you can build upon that, and you're going to thrive and see your wealth and your savings grow. So I think it's quite the opposite of socialism.
So let me ask you this question. Joseph Lavorgna on the phone with us, Counselor to Secretary Scott Bessent. This is for a small window of babies that are being born. Like you mentioned, kind of those that are being born during the Trump administration. Do you consider this to be like a test balloon for something that could grow or expand? I'll tell you right now, Joseph, I got 4 kids, but the youngest one is 4 years old, so they don't qualify. Is there a possible opportunity for us to maybe play catch up?
Well, Annie, let me ask you. So this is the $1,000 is what the government, the Treasury, is going to be depositing in a young boy or girl's account. But you could take advantage of it. You just won't get the $1,000. This is the thing. This is why this is optional. It's voluntary. This is the capitalist system at heart, where you could choose to contribute. So you can give up to $5,000 for your 4-year-old. Up to 18. So you can partake in it. You're just not going to get the $1,000 initial contribution. But this is open to all boys and girls not just those that are born during the Trump period. Just during the Trump period, those are the ones that are going to be able to get that initial 1,000. So everybody can take advantage of this.
So I can go to trumpaccounts.gov, sign Molly up, and she can have a Trump account. Not going to get that $1,000 seed money, but I can start putting money in it. And another thing, Joseph Lavorgna, I've seen a lot of private sector interest in this. It could become a worker benefit for people to attract the best workers to apply and to work for specific companies. Do you think there's going to be a lot more private sector?
That is exactly correct. And that little clip you played of Secretary Besson talking about significant amount of philanthropists getting involved. Various companies, all sorts of companies across the whole swath of different industries are partaking in this. We've got something like 20 or almost now 25 states that are also going to contribute. So yes, this is so when you talk about it getting bigger, it's the start of something, broader. Absolutely. I mean, we want this to be a great vehicle for people to save and invest in the future because they believe in U.S. prosperity. They believe in the Trump economy. And this is how wealth is created. Wealth is created by savings. And importantly, as you said, especially now for many families that are having children, middle and lower income families who never have any exposure to stocks markets and the wealth that they generate because the U.S. economy is so strong. This is their opportunity now to get their piece of the growing pie.
Yes, amen to that. Counselor to Secretary Scott Bessent, Joseph Lavorgna speaking with us right now. What kind of mechanism will be in place so that young people, like my oldest is 16 right now, if he had this and it had grown, I think he'd probably be interested in kind of taking a peek. How does this work? Great education for him for the future. What kind of visual will be there for these children and for their families to learn about investing as this process goes on?
Yeah, I think part of it will be, and everybody has phones, and tablets and everything else. And, obviously your oldest son will probably see your smaller children, they'll see their account on their phone or perhaps your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And, you'll see every day people will probably be checking it constantly when the market's up, of course.
Sure.
And they'll say, look, I put $1,000 in. Oh, it's worth $1,100. Oh, it's worth $1,500. Oh, it's worth $2,000. I mean, you're going to see, you're going to get a very intuitive, real-time, pragmatic introduction to compound interest, literally watching your money grow, because we know over the long term, the stock market is maybe the single best generator of wealth. So it'll be a very applied format and how you can check it. You mentioned the very easy to sign up. You could also, when people are filing their taxes, they could look for Form 4547. They could fill it out that way as well. But essentially, they're going to notice that. Yeah,
I like
45. Well, the president is a great marketer, and certainly there's more evidence of such. But the point is that we want to make this available to people. It'll be easy to track. And again, I should also add this. The option is going to be putting it in money's going to go in a low cost index fund that effectively mimics the broad stock market. So it's a tool that the household is going to benefit from with extraordinarily low transaction costs, and that their returns can really be a great approximation of the broad stock market performance.
And I want to, before we let you go, we don't want to take too much of your time. I want to know, when does this money become available? The account belongs to the child, not to the parents. When does the money become available to them, and what can they do with it?
Sure. So right now, so you could sign up for it now, and these accounts will be funded on July 4th, and they will be held in the custodian or the parent up till the child is 18. I would hope that, when they see those huge increases in their value from when they were a young child to when they're an adult, they would keep the money in. But if at 18, once they take ownership of it, because they're an adult, legal adult, they can do whatever they want with it. They want to use it to pay for college, they could do that. They want to go to a trade school, that's an option. If they hold it or they want to buy a home, they could do that. So again, this is the money for that for that individual. They could choose to do what they want on their own. Again, this is capitalism. This is the exact opposite of socialism. And this is freedom. This is opportunity. It's voluntary, and it's going to be a great way for people to get ahead in life, as President Trump wants.
Absolutely. And it's innovative, which is what's so exciting about it for us watching this administration come up with new, interesting, exciting ideas to help our families succeed as taxpayers, as income earners. We want prosperity for everybody.
Absolutely. Democrats, Republicans, Independent. President Trump always said that he jokes and he's everybody's president, even if some of the people don't like him as much as others.
Can you imagine being the family having babies for the next few years and not signing up for this because you hate Trump? Like those people are going to need to get over themselves.
I think that. Yeah, I think, and they probably like President Trump more than they're willing to admit, these people too.
Yeah, we all love him, and we're glad that you were able to join us today. Thank you so much for the information. Maybe we'll have you back sometime.
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Tell Secretary Bessent we said hi. We love him. We'll talk to you again.
Absolutely.
Take care. Joseph Lavorgna, counselor to Secretary Scott Bessent. That was something that I had heard conflicting reports on, that the Trump accounts were for like the new babes. But anybody, I don't know if there's a cutoff on the age, like if there's a birth that you can't sign up for it now. But why would I not sign up my kids for these Trump accounts? Like, that's what you got to do. I also think, too, I don't know about when your kids' birthdays are spread out between the twins and the other one, but this would be a great idea if you're used to giving cash. We have for our kids' entire lives. If they get cash for their birthday, it just goes in their savings account. Now they have some nice savings account that they don't even really know exists. And we intend to give that to them when they're 18. But this would be a really great way to kind of stock that Trump account and keep it growing over the course of time. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about the fact that you could open an account, but not at the same time as having a baby. So I would like to look in to see what the benefits of opening that account is versus a traditional savings account or college account or whatever.
Yeah, certainly. All right, let's take a quick break. Please help us grow school choice here in the St. Louis area in partnership with the Lutheran Elementary School Association. The Annie Fry Show Scholarship is growing with your help, but we need you to do what you can to help this thing grow. So you can text Annie26 to 41444, Annie26 to 41444. Help us get to that $5,000 mark, because we're going to get an extra $1,000 match, and we are less than $1,500 away from that. Text Annie26 to 41444 or go to lisastl.org/Annie. Well, I want to talk about Lutheran education a little bit. Of course, that scholarship that we are working with right now. I know I often talk to you about the 34 elementary schools, Lutheran elementary schools that are in the Missouri, Illinois, bi-state, St. Louis region. I also have mentioned there's 4 high schools, another one coming in the fall of 2026, I think, to Washington. Is that right? When you are considering a Lutheran education for your child or for your grandchild, I know dollars are a factor. I know that you're thinking, gosh, public education, it doesn't cost me anything other than your property taxes is what you're going to be paying anyway. But do I really want to try to work the sacrifice into our budget for Lutheran education? Here are a few reasons why I really want you to just consider it. Maybe tour an open house, go to lisastl.org/Annie and see the different elements that are there for you to learn about these different places. In this world right now, there is trouble. And when you are in a Lutheran school, it is a Christ-centered foundation. You want to talk about building the foundation on the rock. A Lutheran elementary education is one of the best. I really can't think of a better way other than that Christ-centered home to get that job done. It is reinforcement. There is right. There is wrong. There is forgiveness. This is what you get in a Lutheran education. And I hope that you'll consider it for your child or for your grandchild. To donate or to learn more, go to Lisa, L-E-S-A, lisastl.org/Annie.
2026 is an election year, and 97.1 FM Talk will be your home for every twist and turn in the 2026 midterms. 97.1 FM Talk. Keep it here for radio coverage that's 25 years strong.
According to MasterCard, nearly half of small businesses have been a victim of a cyber attack. As cybercrime escalates, ThrottleNet is calling on businesses to strengthen their security posture by taking a free online IT security audit right from your desk. This 3-minute online assessment provides an immediate score to see security gaps and vulnerabilities in your network. For 26 years, ThrottleNet has supported your business IT everything right here in St. Louis. In fact, no client of ThrottleNet has ever paid a ransom. So visit throttlenet.com/971 to take the free assessment today.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants. So
We called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
they came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
You know, we haven't mentioned this aspect of it enough, but if you donate to the Annie Fry Show Scholarship Campaign with the Lutheran Elementary School Association, it is a dollar-for-dollar tax credit for you to get back. So text Annie26 to 41444 to donate. That's Annie26 to 41444 to donate. This is all part of this big, beautiful bill stuff. It's great. It's new. It's stuff you can take advantage of now that you couldn't in the past. Go to lisastl.org/Annie, or again, Annie26 to 41444 to donate. It is 150. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Annie Fry is St. Louis conservative.
So we just got done speaking with Joseph Lavorgna about the Trump accounts. You can go to trumpaccounts.gov and learn there as well a little bit more about at least how the administration is positioning this. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm curious because these are brand new things, and the $1,000 is getting all the attention. But the fact that you can open an account separately, I'm sure there are some benefits associated with it, especially since
Well, I mean, the account,
47.
the $1,000 goes in the same kind of account. So it's not like a different thing. The Trump account is just an investment account that you can open up right now. And if you are, I'm going to put up the thing here so we can all read it together. But if you look at what they have to offer here, you get $1,000 for every American child born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028, which would essentially be the end of his last year as president. The account is fully in your child's name, and you're the sole custodian until they turn 18. And you don't have to put anything in it. So if you're one of those, if you open this up and you have a baby that qualifies in that small time frame, they are going to put $1,000 in it. But it's not, those aren't the only people who qualify for a Trump account. I can open one up for my kids. And then, if our employer decided to say, oh, for an extra benefit each year, we'll put $250 in per kid, per qualifying kid into a Trump account if you have one open, then they can do that too, which would be a huge probably tax write-off for the company to do it. So it's a benefit that they get to offer people to entice them, that you get more bang for your buck if you're an employee of this company versus that company. So then they have the opportunity to hopefully get the best of the brightest. And then when companies start doing that and competing with each other for the best employees, everybody wins. The private sector participation in this is, I think, what could end up being the most attractive part of it. Not the $1,000 that comes from not Donald Trump, but you, the taxpayer, by way of a deposit in here. But the way the private sector decides to participate. Dell came out. Remember when Mr. and Mrs. Dell came out and they said that they were going to put seed money in here, and my kids would qualify for that. So if I establish the account, then they're going to get some of that Dell money. So why would you not do it? And then the way to monitor, I think it's a really interesting thing to think that you could not have to put anything in it on your own, and you could still watch the money make itself.
It's just like, it's not just like, but it's when your company offers a match. Like, why wouldn't you take it? Because it's free money. That's the same idea. If you're going to get free money,
it's like a 401k for your kid instead of
well.
the end of your life, the beginning of theirs. I really like the idea. If it sucks, I guess we'll know in a certain amount of time. But I think it's novel, and I think that investing in our futures before we get to the point where we're going to die in retirement, that sounds fun, right? Like Social Security, wouldn't you people talk about, like, gosh, I wish I could have all the money I paid into Social Security. I wish I could have invested that the whole time. Look at what I'd get out of that. You don't even get your own money that you pay into Social Security. We're going to get our kids' money that they're paying into Social Security. So if this is kind of an instance where maybe at some point you can opt out of the Social Security system for a benefit with your Trump account and just say, I'm going to pull out of that system because there's something attractive enough on the other side. Maybe there's a government match or something like that. Or maybe your Social Security dollars don't go into the system and they start to go in a Trump account. And there's going to have to be like a crossover Band-Aid where the people who are going to be on Social Security are going to have to get paid off to get the future generations in a position where they don't have to be on the system. It will be their own investment.
Do you think that if there is a problem with this, if they discover some problem with this novel new concept and idea, that somebody will check Trump on it? Because it seems like Trump just kind of does anything he wants and nobody ever pushes back on anything.
What?
Sorry, I'm being sarcastic. I'm just joking, because if there is a problem with this, you're going to know day one.
No, you won't, because there's a problem with it if you're on the left. If you're opposed to Trump, there already is a problem with it.
Yeah.
The question will be like a real problem with it. And kind of like I had at the end of the conversation there with Joseph Lavorgna, who is a counselor to Secretary Scott Bessent, the amount of people who are like imagine being one of these far left Jantifa memas that is out there right now, and you hate Trump, and maybe your child has a kid, it gets pregnant, and they're like, oh, I'm going to open up that Trump account so you get $1,000. Are they going to be like, don't you dare take $1,000 out of your inheritance? Are you going to pass that money up? They're not going to pass the money
No,
up,
they're not.
but they're going to act like they are. Like, imagine hating somebody so much that you're like, no, I don't want free money.
They'll complain about it while they do it.
And they won't say that they do it. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be back in the 2:00 hour for Hat Day on the Annie Fry Show. Don't go away.
Guys, are you dealing with low energy, weight gain, or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Check out their website. You can learn about the different sorts of foundational services that Matt Hayes and his incredible team at Home Shield Foundation Repair, what kind of services they can offer you for your foundation needs. Wet basements are problems for a whole host of reasons. And when I have had I guess it's an unfortunate opportunity to see photos of folks who are like, I'll deal with that later. And then, man, the worst thing happens. That costs so much more, can be incredibly disruptive to your home when you don't address foundation issues from the beginning. So what you need is somebody you can trust, and a locally owned business right here, grown from the roots of St. Louis, this family-owned company of Home Shield Foundation Repair. That's the phone call that you've been waiting to make, because you know you want somebody who's going to come give you a straight talk, a fair price, and the very best work. 314-271-9900. Call Home Shield Foundation Repair at 314-271-9900. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
It looks like winter finally has arrived. It's really nice weather we were getting. Nice that we kept it all the way through, but it's time for your furnaces to start breaking. If it happens to you, please give me a call, and we'll get somebody right out there and get your heat real fast. If you choose, it makes more sense to replace your furnace. We can do that next day. So if you need service, give me a call. Bart Inman. It's one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, the easiest number. 314-293-2600. Again, Missouri and Illinois, only one number, 314-293-2600, or go online at bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777. Not be intimidated. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That message from Mayor Jacob Fry.
This is an opportunity to be a patriot, to stand up for the kinds of liberties and freedoms that we all hold dear.
Commending peaceful protests against immigration enforcement surge and telling the U.S. Conference of Mayors whole communities shouldn't be held accountable for the actions of a few.
The reality is you can't exercise the extraordinary power that the federal government has to force nationwide outcomes on localized issues, leaving our own citizens as collateral damage.
The mayor's previously scheduled speech in Washington coming just hours after announcements from border czar Tom Homan in Minnesota.
We are not surrendering the president's mission in immigration enforcement. Let's make that clear.
But he's also working on solutions after 2 deadly shootings.
President Trump and I, along with others in the administration, have recognized that certain improvements could and should be made.
Changes include focusing on criminal suspects who pose a public safety threat. And he says Minnesota's attorney general has told him local and state jails will notify ICE if an illegal immigrant is being released, part of an effort to reduce the numbers of federal agents in communities. Senate Democrats want ICE reforms, and spending bills to avoid a partial government shutdown are blocked as negotiations continue.
We're working on that right now. I think we're getting close. The Democrats, I don't believe, want to see it either.
President Trump holding a cabinet meeting as a spending package failed to advance in the Senate.
Now, the only way to avoid a partial shutdown is if they handle ICE reforms in another bill, or if there's a handshake agreement. A shutdown would impact everything from FEMA to air traffic controllers to the IRS.
Fox's Chad Pergram. Democrats have been pushing to separate or amend the Homeland Security portion, but there wouldn't be time for a House vote before tomorrow night's deadline. America is listening to Fox News.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Our temperatures this afternoon hanging right around 20 degrees, a fair amount of clouds in place. Tonight, cloudy skies, a little bit of light snow and snow flurries, no more than a dusting in spots. 2 for the overnight low. On Friday, partly sunny, very cold, 15, 19 Saturday. Another shot of some light snow and snow flurries on Sunday as we get up to 28. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
A huge shout out to Rodney. Thank you for the $52 donation. We are up to $3,569 on this year's scholarship drive, building off of last year's $30,000 that we have accumulated over the year. Yes, fantastic. So let's keep going. If you want to donate, you can at Annie26. Text Annie26 to 41444, or you can go to lisastl.org/Annie. Well, if you're watching on the YouTube, you might see that Brad's got his hat on. He scooped us, and he's trying to figure out how to wear a hat and his headphones at the same time.
It's hard.
Ryan and I haven't put a hat on yet, and I didn't bring a hat because Ryan brought his bag of hats.
I brought a bag of hats that also is a bag of wigs. It's doubles.
Was it the same bag?
Same bag. Yeah.
Why do you have wigs and hats in a bag?
Why don't you?
Because you do.
I think we all are fine then.
Well, I told Ryan to bring his bag of hats, and I said I'd wear the hat that he gave me. So, I mean, you've got a few here. I guess you could kind of walk through them, or you could just pick one, and I'll wear it. Like I said, if they're fitted, though, like I have a kind of a big dome here, so.
Which one?
I want that one. You wear the other one, though.
Okay,
here we go. I'm gonna wear. What just fell out of it?
I don't know. Probably some hair.
Ew.
Mouse turd.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, you never know. These are just in a bag in my basement, so
it might have been a mouse.
I really don't know.
Do you even have Point Pest Control?
I do not. You know what? Point Pest Control came out one time, and I need to give them back out because we're going into spring. But they came out for bugs, not mice.
It was a Lego.
Was it?
Yeah, that tracks. All right. Are you ready? Here we go. So if you want to support us, we need your help. We need to really bring this home.
They're a little small.
It's text Annie 26 to 41444. Right now you can see the trucker hats that Ryan and I have just put on. Mine says old fart. And Ryan says, old fart's wife.
I wondered how we'd pull that off. There we go. All right. These hats are not made for comfort.
No?
No. They are made for crazy situations.
What kind of hat do you have on over there? What is that?
This is my top hat that goes with the wig that I wore yesterday.
I was going to say, it probably would go with that well.
What is it?
Slash. If you've seen Slash from Guns N' Roses, it's his top.
Guns N' Roses just had an effigy of Donald Trump on stage.
Did they really?
Yeah.
How did I miss that? Usually that stuff comes into my feed. I did not see that. No, I did not see that though.
So I had that wig, which was the long curly hair that Slash has, and this hat because back in the day we did a trivia night and each table had to dress up in a theme, and ours was Guns N' Roses, and my buddy dressed up as Axl Rose.
Guns N' Roses fans destroyed Donald Trump.
Okay.
Yeah. Guns N' Roses concert turned into anti-Trump concert. Yep. They have a hanging Donald Trump on the stage.
Oh, that's turning the temperature down.
I need a different hat.
No.
You know what's
I don't
weird?
think you're bearing the weight of an effigy of Donald Trump.
If you go to a trivia night or anywhere and the theme is Guns N' Roses, is anybody showing up as anybody other than Slash and Axl?
The theme wasn't Guns N' Roses. That was our table's theme.
But is everybody getting a role like the drummer is getting a station there too? Or is everybody Axl?
We did. Ours was 80s rock. So we were Axl and Slash. Our wives were rock girl fans. And
Gotcha.
then there was what is his name? Rock of Love guy, Brett
Michaels?
Brett Michaels. Yeah. One of the guys
I don't
dressed up.
speak
Yeah.
your language.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Brett Kavanaugh.
That would be the trivia night theme for me. Supreme Court justices. Legendary. I'm not really like a theme girl.
Annie Wynn is Neil Gorsuch.
Yeah, I know that I'm like trying my hardest here to work on this Lutheran Elementary School Association scholarship, and I'm so grateful for everybody who has participated. I'm not like a theme girl. Like, let's do Spirit Days. Like, Halloween comes around and everyone's like, Annie, are we going to dress up? And I'm always like, like, I need you to come to me and be like, here's what we need to do. This is what we need to do for the people. And I'll still be like, meh. But I will reluctantly participate because I don't want to. Every party has a pooper, and that's why we invited you. Party pooper. That's from Father of the Bride. Martin Short. I don't need to be that person, but I'm never going to be like, hey guys, you want to do group costumes? That's not me.
Well, I will say that your hat looks fine.
Thank you.
It looks like it belongs on your head. Mine looks like it has misshapen my head.
Well, put your head in it.
I this is as far as it'll go. Look at if I pull it down further.
I like that
it
better.
Is over my
Just
eyes.
I want the rest of the show like
and
this.
my head still looks like it was made.
I can see Ryan's mouth, nose, and this top that says "Old Fart's wife." I love
that's
it.
That's it. It looks like this hat was made in a shape like an egg witch.
Maybe it's your head.
No, it's not. It's on my head.
If we could trade hats and see if it looks good on me.
We could.
Looks good on you though. YouTube live chat poll for today is masculinity making a comeback. Yesterday we talked about the USA Today story. They did a report that suggested that masculinity might start to be back in, that younger voters are kind of more into the understanding of gender roles. Isn't masculinity really just about having a role for one of the two genders? Like,
yeah, it's not complicated.
The whole, like, where did masculinity go? Some people have made that comment. And you can text us at 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. How about you text tips for Ryan to be more masculine?
Oh, great. And I got to be the one that opens it and reads it. Hey, at least I can filter them, and I will. Hardcore. So you better make them flatterous.
Yeah. Who's the most masculine person on this show? That's what you should text us in 314-241-9797. Or just your thoughts on if masculinity is making a comeback. Yes or no, and let us know if you think it should or it shouldn't. I think that the idea of like androgyny or gender bending, like all of the things that have developed over the last couple decades, you know, there's a huge difference in saying, like, if a girl wants to be a tomboy, let her be a tomboy. If she wants to wear her hair in a ponytail and doesn't want to wear a dress and she wants to play soccer, that's fine. But you don't have to make it, like, it's kind of offensive to me that, like, you would even suggest that she should then be a boy. Like, what's the matter with a girl doing things that are sports related or, you know, maybe just not as super feminine? Like, there is a spectrum of interests that boys can be interested in. Boys could be interested in art or music. You know, you want to talk about, like, there are some super masculine people who are super into music, but things kind of get separated from people who want to look at that and take it to such an extreme where they're like, it's sexist to say that this thing is a masculine thing and no girl should do it. They say that's bad, so let's just everything on the table, mix it up, and not have any gender specific roles.
Thank you. That's why I like eating at the tea room.
You drink at the tea room, but go on.
That's what I meant.
Well, at least he doesn't know.
Yeah, which proves that I was making a joke and I'm actually very masculine. I'm not really sure what the point was.
However, not funny.
Agreed.
Masculine, comma, not funny.
Touche.
That's going to be your next poster that I make of your Johnny Donkin. Masculine, unfunny.
I'll take that. I'll take that trade. If somebody goes, you know what? That guy is a real man's man. Not
Would
a
you
real
rather
funny
be
guy,
masculine or funny if you had to choose one?
but, how masculine? Scale of 1
One
to
or
10.
the other.
No, scale of 1 to 10. Am I a 10?
A
On
10.
the-
One is a 10, the other is a 0. Whatever you pick.
Okay, I will pick masculinity. I will pick full-on testosterone pectorals over
You're just essentially
over humor.
an incredibly dull and unfunny roid rager.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't necessarily have to have rage, but I would have a lot of muscle and I'd be big and I'd be
Okay, Brad.
intimidating.
So, do you think masculinity is making a comeback?
Oh, for sure. I think that it's and not just like making it's in vogue. I think that there is a strong pushback
In
against
vogue is a very masculine way to
Yeah.
refer to it.
I think there's a strong pushback against what the culture has been over the past, I don't know, 15, 20 years, where masculinity was just kind of at first just like, but then it was really attacked even. And I think that young men are looking around going, I'm not about that life anymore. I know who I am and I know who I'm supposed to be, and I'm just going to be that. And if you guys don't like it, tough. And that's about as masculine as you can get.
I don't really know that there's a lot of people saying, I don't want to do this anymore. I think there are young people who have gotten older who are like, I'm not going to do that at all. If you were probably mostly millennials, I would say, who grew up in a time where, I've talked about being in a psychology class, which I think was actually gender psychology. I feel like that can't possibly be the case, but I guess it might have been. But I remember taking it and then the professor being adamant about the sex and gender being different things. And they weren't saying that there were multiple sexes or multiple genders, but the idea was that they were separate. And that would have been in like 2003, probably. So I would have been 18, 19 years old. I would have been a late teenager, and I'm just trying to think of the men who would have been in my class would have been so young and probably disinterested. And psychology often had more females in it than males. But you've been taught this for so long and told over and over and over again that it's like if you're a masculine guy, probably the best you did was just kind of keep quiet. But nobody's going to hear that and have a hormonally charged compulsion to be masculine. I don't think that you can biologically turn that off. You just have to figure out how to manage it in a way that you deem is not going to get you culturally in trouble. And I just feel like the generation that's growing up right now is counterculture in the way that they might actually go a little extra on the masculinity just as a way to do what young people do, which is rebel from the expectation.
Yeah, I was going to say no, but it should to this, but I've changed my mind really even in talking about it and say, yes, it has made a comeback and it should, because masculinity is usually not that loud. Obnoxious people are loud, but masculinity itself isn't. You wait. Masculinity is quiet.
I'm very feminine and ladylike, so I'll just sit and wait until you tell me I can talk.
Very demure.
Because
dang,
what was that?
That's Marker. I've never hit you in the face before.
I heard that through the mic.
Almost.
Good thing you were wearing that
I
old
heard
fart's hat, wife hat.
Almost. I don't even remember what my point was now, because I was just sitting in silence trying to prove it. Masculinity is quiet.
Can you ring that bell about 500 times for the $500 donation we just got from David
4,
Coer?
5.
Yay.
Thank you. That is so incredible. A new leader, a $500 donation, which has brought us in within less than $1,000 for us to get to our $1,000 bonus. That's the most complicated way to explain. We're at $4,069. And if we get to 5,000, we get an extra $1,000 match.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So we need $931. Maybe somebody can donate the 31. and get us to that 5,000 so we can get that first $1,000 match. That is incredible. David, thank you so much for that incredible, generous donation. We need more people out there to step up like David, but that is a huge, huge contribution, and we are incredibly grateful for it. You're going to literally bless children here in the bi-state region, local kids who are going to be able to access a Lutheran education with ease because of donations just like yours, and so many others that are giving the $25 increments and everything. David, thank you so much.
David, which hat made you do that? Was it Old Fart's wife, or Guns N' Roses Slash? Or was it Ethan's hat, which is just a hoodie? Or whatever that is.
He's got a stocking cap
stocking
on.
cap. I couldn't come up with a word. I always say hoodie because you always wear hoodies.
Don't forget Wiggins America Today. You can check it out on the podcast today on the Odyssey app, where Ryan Wiggins tells us how to be better at public speaking. You'd have to believe it or hear it to believe it.
It was cute. It was funny and cute.
Also, we talked about how self-aware he isn't. Okay, Ethan, Sports and Local next on the Annie Fry Show. Come look at the YouTube live stream right now and see our hat. Mine says Old Fart. I've never worn a hat before that had fart on it.
Couple texts just came in. One says, most masculine person on the show, the only one that can change their oil in their car. That would be Brad.
I can change the oil.
Well, are you wanting to be masculine?
I also can't change my oil.
And then
I can't too. I just bet my eyes at the Valvoline instant oil change people, and boom, that oil gets changed.
That's probably true. The second one is, I was going to vote Brad for most masculine until he used the term en vogue. Come on, bro.
He's masculine and well-spoken, of which
I was listening.
Well,
he listened to Wiggins America
I was listening
today.
to Wiggins America.
Ethan, Sports and Local on the Annie Fry Show next. If you want to donate, please join David in whatever capacity that you can, that you feel blessed to do. Text Annie26 to 41444. Annie26 to 41444, or go to lisastl.org/Annie. Ethan's up next. Don't go away. The Retirement Advisory Group, my friends Thomas Helbig, Bob and Tammy Kershaw. We've got another event coming up. I'm very excited about this one. A new location for us at the Doubletree in Chesterfield. It's off 64 West and Chesterfield Parkway. Here's when the event is. February 17th, which is a Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Come early because I get there from 6 to 6:30 and I try to meet each and every one of you. You need to reserve your spot, though, so you can get the answers to questions like this. Would you like to get a free personalized retirement income plan for you? Of course you would. For free and for 45 minutes of your time. Plus, you get to meet me. Mark and Mark are both going to be there as well. More, I should say, that I get to meet you because I'm looking forward to that opportunity. If you're 59 and a half or older, you can't afford to miss this event. It's free. You just got to reserve your spot. So Tuesday, February 17th, it begins at 6:30, but come early so that I get the opportunity to meet you at the Doubletree in Chesterfield this time. Call 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Did you know replacing old vinyl windows with more vinyl windows might not be the best choice? Hi, it's Kim, and I'm here to tell you about Infinity from Marvin Windows, because these fiberglass windows, they're energy efficient, they're beautiful, and they're custom built to fit your home perfectly. The team at Lakeside Renovation and Design just makes the process so easy. I love the fact that they even offer a lifetime workmanship warranty. Look, if you're tired of drafts, high energy bills, or maybe hard to open windows, now's the time to upgrade. Visit windowsbylakeside.com to schedule your free consultation today.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you're truly prepared? Sue Thomas here. And when it comes to retirement planning, keep in mind Financial and Tax Architects, FTA, has helped families all across St. Louis plan to retire with clarity and confidence. FTA specializes in creating tax-efficient retirement strategies, showing you how and when to claim Social Security, and building an income plan designed to last as long as you do. Now, they have a Retirement Planning 101 class. It is eye-opening. It's 2.5 hours. It's offered on campuses of colleges throughout the area, no cost or obligation, but you're going to learn how to avoid costly mistakes, reduce unnecessary taxes, and make your money work smarter smarter in retirement. Call 314-888-5101 or visit fta-ria.com to reserve your seat today. Space fills quickly, so don't wait. Take that first step toward a more confident retirement.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, or Wegmans.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
Time to find out if Ethan's been drinking.
That's a new one.
What was it? I missed
Sad
it.
part is I couldn't even hear it because
Time
my
to find
headphones
out
are
if
going all whack.
Ethan's been drinking.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that one too.
A big thank you to Judith, who donated $16. We'll take every bit of it. Thank you so much, Judith. And wait, I got to refresh that. Is that a real number?
What? Is it 2?
It's a 4-figure number.
Really?
I'm going to refresh this to
Including
make
the
sure.
decimals?
Yeah, my heart started beating fast. I felt like I made an error. But $1,000,
No way.
$1,036 from Dan Mayfield. Holy smokes!
Whoa, okay.
Dan.
I'm very, very excited right now. If I have to wear this old fart hat for the rest of my time,
Life.
Life, like seriously, I'm a little bit breathless. Guys, thank you so much for the support here. We are at $5,121 from just 59 donors. One more donor to get us to 60 donors total. Text Annie 26 to 41444. My hat says old fart.
And now you're stuck with it.
And if you haven't
'Cause it's
seen
your
it,
lucky
Ryan's hat says
Old fart's wife. These have been staying in the bag for a long time. I think these are genuine from the time period.
Dan, my gosh. And David, $500 before the break.
A
The
huge,
Lord will provide, right?
A huge thank you to Dan and David. Dan, next time that we have to wear wigs and I have to do sports and local, you can do that segment for me.
My kid said you looked
that's
like
one
the
of your
lion
awards.
from
The
Wizard
video
of Oz.
of you.
When I tell you that that may have
Yesterday.
been my least favorite segment of radio I have ever had to do in my life.
Well, if we had to make an
That
imprint on
was
you, that was
freaking
it.
awful.
Oh my gosh, guys, this is so
Terrible.
exciting. Ethan, tell me something good.
I'm going to tell you something really good.
Good.
This is about as local of news that you can get.
In the office?
In the office. Did you guys see that Jake from Y98 got his Tupperware back yesterday?
Yeah. This is internal drama. Now made external.
Everybody can relate to this, though.
No one
There have been a few emails.
likes a reply all. No one. Unless it's this situation that happened this week at Odyssey St. Louis. A couple of weeks ago, our friend from
Are we
Y98.
really doing a whole story on
I'm
this?
See,
doing
you
this.
have to now.
A couple weeks ago, he shared in an email saying that he had missed or that
Did you
his.
clear with Jake that you were going to talk about
I
this?
told him that it was happening, and he completely welcomed it.
Okay, good.
He
Because
shared
Jake understands good radio.
that his glassware leftovers container had been misplaced. Now he did emphasize if this was just a regular Tupperware container, no big deal. But
Did
he
you
said
talk
this
about
was
this on the Mark Reardon show?
it was mentioned very briefly.
Joe just commented on our YouTube chat. This is the third show I've heard this report on.
Stop it.
Yeah.
No way.
Not
That's
only are we
hilarious.
talking about it, we're not even first to the news.
So then I'm not gonna go super deep into this, but this is just I think this is a pretty funny story, so I'm gonna share it.
Joe also said, "Can Dan buy this guy some Tupperware?" No, Dan is supporting the kids.
Yeah.
Jake can get his own Tupperware.
Really nice quality Tupperware here, glassware. And for a few weeks, Jake didn't hear anything about this Tupperware container.
But did Jake let that get him down?
No, he didn't. He persevered. And a couple of days ago, he sent out another reminder, still friendly, but maybe a little bit more stern, saying, hey, I would like this back. And he got a response yesterday from someone saying that they accidentally took it home.
Was it somebody who works on the weekends?
I don't
think so.
Yeah, I don't know who
We
it
didn't-
was. They say they're returning it this weekend, so maybe that is the case. But they said that they had the same one, so they got it mixed up. But one of the few times where reply alls are okay, and I think didn't you respond reply all, Ryan?
I did. It's one of the only times I ever have.
People. There are two people who have participated in this everybody's involved conversation: Jake and the thief. And then there was one more.
And me.
Ryan Wiggins.
To the whole company.
Who could not contain himself.
I couldn't.
He could not refrain.
So
it was just an opportunity.
Congratulations to Jake. Listen, I thought the Tupperware was a goner. I didn't think he was going to get it back. So it feels like a win for the people. That's what this feels like. So I'm really happy for
Can I share what my email was? It said, "What a caper with a Matlock ending. 5 stars." I think
really
everybody appreciated it.
Side coming out there.
The worst thing that can be done in this situation is for people to encourage Ryan in this capacity.
314-241-9797.
Ways that Ryan could be more masculine. 314-241-9797.
Or just thumbs up. Encouragement. 314-241-9797.
All right, thank you guys for putting up with the story once again. For all of you that have now heard it 3 times, appreciate you all. The Gateway Arch Park Foundation announced recently that it plans to potentially expand the park grounds. Get this, to the Illinois side, to East St. Louis.
Oh, all right.
The foundation is working with East St. Louis, St. Clair County National Park Service, the state of Illinois, and the Metro East Parks and Recreation District to potentially expand the arch grounds to the Illinois riverfront. The first phase of this plan focuses on evaluating the land and environmental conditions and determining the scale of investment required. That is where this plan will end. Just kidding. That was a joke.
Oh, yeah. It'll cost $1 billion, too.
I'm telling you what, Illinois, like if I were running for governor of Illinois, one of my focuses would be the invigoration of the east side of the St. Louis Arch, because we have the best view.
Yes.
From our side. Yes, St. Louis, your city is beautiful. It's stunning from a distance.
Yeah.
And the city, the city, what do you call
Skyline.
that? Skyline is gorgeous. It's gorgeous during the day. It's gorgeous at night. That sunset's right behind the city. It's beautiful. It should be built up. There should be industry all around it. There should be hotels. There should be entertainment.
Drone shows.
It should be right there. Drone shows.
Maybe a stadium or two, huh?
It was thought about. That absolutely should be the case. Where'd my comment go? That's what needs to happen, and I wish they would do it. It would be so invigorating for that area and bring jobs. I think it absolutely should happen.
This might be a stupid question, legitimately, but it's a real one. There already is a fountain and kind of a park over there. Is this just an expansion of that same park?
It's pretty much the casino.
The Casino Queen is over there.
There's an outlook spot and everything.
There is an outlook spot. I actually had my senior pictures done there.
Were you sitting backwards on a chair?
No, I wasn't. I don't think so.
Real
but they are some pretty cool pictures. There's a really cool looking outlook over there. Great view of the city.
Before we go to a break, people are texting in ways that Ryan could be more masculine. 314-241-9797. Real quick, Colonel Ripple got a suggestion there. Ryan, why don't you read that out loud?
All right. Ways Ryan could be more masculine. Talk less. LOL.
Oh.
When I talk, I'm less masculine. I guess I kind of did allude to that.
No, I think there is a stoicism that goes hand in hand with masculinism.
I think I would also lose my job.
That's true.
So
sorry, Ripper. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Shield is engineered to outlast paint by a lot, backed with our 25-year transferable warranty. Paint a house, shield a home. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, steel, aluminum, cedar, and more. We are the only coating company selected by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where all 3 episodes concentrate on unpainted brick. If you maintain or own a business with a tired-looking building, you owe it to yourself to look at Rhino Shield and our beautifully durable color schemes. Evaluations are free. We're making buildings pop and be noticed again, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks, exceeding expectations every day with our products, people, and performance. Now is the time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or go to 877-25rhino.com and see how honest and transparent we really are. Tell them, ladies.
Don't Don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
What's up, world? It's Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, chicken farmer, and now host of Free Range. This is a show where I go off the field and off the script. We're talking what's hot in music, film, trending news, and everything blowing up your feed. If you love football, you'll feel at home. But if you're here for the vibes, the internet deep dives, the conversation, this is your podcast. Join me every Wednesday. Follow and listen to Free Range with me, Von Miller, everywhere you get your podcast.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
At Gray Bar, we know your time is money. That's why our services go beyond parts and products. With kitting, pre-assembly, wire carts, and Gray Bar smart reels that keep you moving. We stage materials and manage logistics so you can spend less time sorting and more time installing. And with locations nationwide, we deliver when and where you need it, working to make your job easier every step of the way. Yep, Gray Bar does that.
Working full-time but still falling behind? Learn how real estate education can help you build income and get ahead. On your terms, text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
You can do the same as many people have in this hour. Donate to the Annie Fry Show Scholarship Campaign with the Lutheran Elementary School Association by texting Annie26 to 41444 to donate any amount. But we've seen some larger amounts come through.
Huge thanks to Dan, who donated $1,036, which means he donated $1,000 and covered the fee, and to David, who donated $500. And we've got a whole bunch of $25 donations in. Judith has made it a generous donation. Rodney, Ryan the Turd Wiggins, all of them showing up to Annie 26414444. Make it happen.
So generous in my name. Thank you. It's 2:33.
Way to stick the landing there, bud. Fantastic.
This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating. Heating, air conditioning, electrical, and plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Freedom has a frequency. 97.1 FM Talk. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Well, Trisha in studio with us, and I will say hatless.
I didn't get the memo.
We've got some. Do you want Ryan? I let Ryan pick mine out. You want to let Ryan pick yours out? Will you?
I guess so. I'll play along. It's for a good cause.
Help that Annie Fry Show scholarship grow. If you want to donate, Lisa with an E, LESASTL.org/Annie.
This should be under my headphones, but it's not. It's on top, and we're going to roll with it.
It's a little small.
Yeah, it is.
What are we talking about?
Stylish. My hat. It's plaid.
You know, people love to donate when they see these hats.
Yeah, it's really the thing that pushes people right over the questionable decision as to whether or not this is a good idea.
The value of a Lutheran education like this hat.
Ooh, I don't associate that. Hey, we do like to have fun. Put it that way.
Florida man who jumped through a Taco Bell window shirtless and robbed it with a large rock is sentenced to 4 years in prison.
That's the only way to rob.
The incident took place in July. It involved a man climbing through the drive-thru window of a Taco Bell shirtless, clenching a large rock, and demanding money from workers and customers. He was apprehended at the time. While incarcerated, he was involved in a physical altercation with somebody else. He was charged this week for both of the incidents with armed robbery and battery and sentenced to 4 years in prison. Annie, are you okay with men being shirtless in public?
Kind of just depends on the guy, right?
What about any guy? Just dudes.
Like
dudes hanging out in the park.
Hanging
without
out?
shirts. A whole bunch of them.
Playing volleyball.
It's
No.
I do think
Eating grapes.
I do think it's super unfair that men have that freedom, but I know men are like women. Just go right ahead.
We think it's unfair too.
I've always said free the nipple.
Fripple, what's the actual question so I make sure I answer specifically here?
Are you okay with men being shirtless in public?
Yes. I'll take the good with the bad. Also,
All right.
going back
That's the
to
answer.
going back to a question from the other day about men, you asked me if confidence is everything, and what did I say?
100%.
100% was, and I quote 100%.
Yeah.
So like, yeah,
So if you're going to do it, go out in public, get crazy with it, go on your roof, play bongos, make a night.
this is
Doctors
exactly what I
treating
was thinking.
doctors
Kind of weird that you're in my head like that.
Doctors treating depression are now studying farts. The new
What an appropriate conversation while
You
I'm
guys
wearing a
would
hat
like
that
this.
says
Interesting.
old
I
farts.
thought you'd like this. The new study from Harvard University suggests that doctors could potentially treat or prevent certain mental health conditions by manipulating gut microbes. Scientists have found that gut bacteria use hydrogen gas from flatulence to convert bile steroids into hormones, and those hormones affect your mood. Specifically, gut bacteria produce gases that create hormones associated with mood regulation, so they're tracking the gases released by microbes as a potential new way to treat depression and postpartum depression. Annie, are you okay with farts?
There is a saying that a fart is always funny. That was said by a man.
A shirtless one?
Probably.
You know who else loved farts? Children.
Oh my gosh. Yes,
And they're
that's
the
the
future.
entirety of my house, men and children.
Yeah. And they are our future. So I think that we all know the answer to this question.
Thank you to our latest donor at $26 entitled Get Rid of Ryan. No.
Thank you.
Maybe somebody needs to donate in support of Ryan.
To offset
now,
that.
To offset the $26.
So that I can stay. Because if nobody does.
Then, well, Trisha, can you stay for longer? I
Really
mean, like,
busy writing fart stories.
there's a book called Everybody Poops.
Mhm.
And I remember, I think I was I think I was visiting a grandparent in the hospital, and they were like talking about things you talk about in the hospital, just bodily functions and everything. And I remember it was a pastor that was visiting and was like, oh, you can't worry about this stuff. Everybody poops. And then he mentioned the name of that book. I've never, ever gotten comfortable with outwardly discussions of bodily functions. Yes, they happen. Yes, I know it happens, but I still don't ever find myself being the genesis of talking about those things. But I feel like culture has shifted, and there's people who are much more willing to discuss this type of stuff and just accept that it's just like, you sneeze, then you fart, maybe sometimes at the same time.
I mean, sometimes
Like-
you pee a little too.
Yeah. Well, we could talk about that too. I've had 4 babies. Do you guys talk about that comfortably with people, or like only in the same sex, or what?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
No.
Oh, I meant no.
Do you talk about it with Brad?
No.
Not
Brad,
really.
I'm not asking you. I want to know what Ryan says.
Not a lot.
So little.
Maybe.
Are you, based on what Brad has said here, you've made him uncomfortable.
I guess I did. I apologize, Brad.
Apology accepted.
But in the future,
Mending
I wouldn't mind if
relationships.
you brought it up every now and then.
I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry.
Because sometimes I think I need to get some things off my chest about that.
Why is it on your chest? I do have a question though. What do you call farts in your house? Because I'll go first. In our house, because we have kids, we call them toots.
Okay.
Because that does make it cuter.
We call them flagellant nannies.
Flagellant.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, it appears someone's released a flatulent nanny. I don't know why. And I just made that up.
You've never ever said that. in
Good
your
heavens.
life.
Good heavens. It's a flatulent nanny. It appears there's several.
It's Ryan Shire Wigglesworth, which we've not heard Ryan Shire in a minute. But you are in my phone. Your contact is Ryan Shire Wigglesworth. So every time
you
you
never forget.
every time you text me, my car's like, text message from Ryan Shear Wigglesworth.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. My kids love it.
Hopefully it does the voice.
It doesn't. I wish
like,
it did.
Reads text in my
Yeah,
voice.
British. What'd you call it? Flatulent. What do you call them in your house, Trisha?
Farts.
Okay. Brad?
Yeah, farts. Yeah.
There's just a bunch of farts.
You guys need, well, not you,
Refer to it as
Ryan.
a quarter zone offense.
Someone his own offense. When did Tim Walz
Toots,
get here?
passing gas. There's a lot of different ways you can refer to it. And the way you refer to it, I think, determines your classiness. Ryan has outclassed
all of us and everyone else.
Not
the
just
whole
us,
world.
but like this generation.
We have a thing or two to learn from this guy.
Oh,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Oh, I think I just passed through a dust devil. There's lots of them.
Yeah, people are commenting here. Poot. Cooking brownies.
Cooking brownies or grownies? What did they say?
Brownies.
Oh, brownies.
I'm not even going to encourage the text messages to 314-241-9797 on this topic.
I'll take a look and see.
No, I think you're good. I think you've maxed out your contribution here. Sorry, Trisha. Go ahead.
Yeah, and a texter here asking Trisha, do you need to fart more or less to not be depressed?
What?
Asking for a friend.
I think it depends on how your farts affect your mood because it depends on what's going on in your gut.
Okay.
So some of the stuff going on in your gut is good, and that'll make you happy.
So some people, when they fart, become jolly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the men. Those are men.
Like somebody just farted.
Yep. Thank you for the Wizard of Oz reference. Once again, flatulent nanny, which is what I'm going to call you. I'm changing your contact right now. Trisha, be professional here. Someone's
I'm
got
ready.
you.
I was just waiting for the little da, 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 da.
There it was.
British 2-year-old breaks 2 world records playing pool and snooker. A toddler pool prodigy in England has already broken 2 Guinness World Records for
What is
playing.
snooker?
It's like pool. It's on a pool table. It's different.
It's easy to get records in it because nobody plays it.
G. Wilkers comments, when someone farts, my dad yells out, "Speak up, Sergeant, we'll find you." What?
So little.
That's such an old man thing to say. Oh my gosh. Sergeant? It's like a PTSD flashback of some kind. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. So little Jude Owens broke the record for the youngest person to make a snooker double pot at the age of 2 years and 261 days old.
I bet you've made a snooker double pot, Ryan Wiggins.
Snooker double pot's where you start. Just goes up from there.
Annie, are you okay with pool?
Pool's one of those things that I like can play and then I think I might be good at it, but I was actually just lucky and then I played a little more and I'm like, this sucks and I quit. So I'm not really into it. You're talking about billiards, right?
Yes.
Not so much. I guess if I had more spare time on my hands, but it's just something I used to play before I was married. When you'd be hanging out with friends, you'd be in a bar at someone's house and they had pool. It was like something you do to pass the time, but it's been a minute. I'm not good at it.
Man, we used to go to Sharky's all the time.
Oh, I have some Sharky stories.
And that place was fun. There was 1 billion pool tables in there. It seems like you go in and you'd still have to wait for one. It was that crowded.
Super smoky.
Yep.
Sharky's was just off of 5570 and 159 in Maryville, and it was the place to go. I've told the story before. When I went on a date, I was like 16, and I went on a date with this guy who picked me up, and he took me to go buy his weed and like the projects of Troy.
No kidding.
Like he's like, I gotta go in and get something.
We've all been there. Come on.
No, I thought I was going to prison
On a
for life.
date, though?
I thought I was going to prison for life. Like I met this. I don't know. I can't tell the whole story. My parents are
Just tell
listening.
the whole story.
They
Come
thought
on.
I was a good kid. I was a good kid. I was terrified.
Was he trying to impress you?
No,
You're
I
like,
think
I
he
gotta
was just
some
trying to get
weed.
high. I didn't know this about him, and nor did I think that would be like on the way from his place to Sharky's, which is where we're going. Maybe I should have anticipated. Sharky's is no longer there.
No, it's like an employment center and a.
No, it's a boxing gym. It's where I go to my boxing gym.
There's a bunch of stuff in that complex now.
Yeah. Anybody? You guys pool?
I grew up. My grandparents had one in their basement. I grew up on a pool table. It was
We
great.
did too, and I still wasn't
On the
very
pool
good at
table?
it.
Yeah, and then I got in trouble, and so I had to stay off and learn how to play it. But
Yeah, you don't want to mess the felt.
We had a red felt pool table in my
Ooh.
basement. It was awesome.
Fancy. Was it in good shape?
It was. We just never used it enough.
Isn't pool is one of those things that when you're buying a house, you're like looking in the basement, like, oh, we could put a pool table here. You don't want to put a pool table there.
No, you don't.
You don't want that.
You do for a year, and then after that, you're like, what else could go?
A lot
here?
of times, like a bar too. Like, oh, this is a cool bar. You're not
Yeah.
going to be tending bar down there.
You
That's
always
not
think
gonna
about how
happen.
am I going to entertain people, and then you never really have anybody over.
Maybe that's like what you do in retirement.
I
Not
don't
there
think
yet.
so.
No?
I don't think you do. I think that's something everybody thinks they're going to do.
So you buy the house.
Yeah.
With the pool table and the bar. And then you just stay in your lazy boy in the living room by the fire.
Exactly.
Thank you, Trisha.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Don't go away. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. That's the website. Have you considered calling Matt Hayes of Home Shield Foundation Repair to tend to your uneven concrete at your home, at work, becomes a liability, and you need to ensure that that isn't going to cause problems for yourself, for your loved ones, for your customers. So you need to figure out, gosh, how do I get rid of this crack, this uneven concrete, and make this area safe again? Well, the answer is you call Matt Hayes of Home Shield Foundation Repair. 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. Matt Hayes will come look at what you're dealing with. That's the type of thing that he can fix in a day. He uses a system called polyjacking. It takes a polyurethane foam, injects it under the concrete to raise it up so that it levels it out, and he adds that a 5-year warranty to that, so you know it's gonna last. It's gonna be worthy of that investment with somebody who's homegrown here, right in the St. Louis area. Home Shield Foundation Repair is a local company. 314-271-9900. Call 314-271-9900. Reach out to Matt Hayes. Tell him Annie sent you, and hire HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Are you a local nonprofit making a difference? Want help spreading the word? We want to hear from you. 97.1 FM Talk in Action highlights the great work being done in our community. Share your mission at 971talk.com/talkinaction.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast talk and disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, Jeff, looks like your business is really booming, even in a tough time for businesses like ours.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, thanks to LendSeek, our business was able to take care of some outstanding bills and taxes and to purchase inventory and expand our product lines.
Wow. You know, my business needs working capital, but only from a reputable company that I can trust and count on. How does LendSeek work?
Fast and easy. Just apply at lendseek.com. Their AI lending platform gave my business access to over 100 funding programs with one simple application. And it costs nothing to apply.
At lendseek.com, you can receive business funding with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. Whatever your funding needs are, seek no more. Our AI lending marketplace has you covered. If you've been in business at least 1 year with annual revenue of at least $250,000, you could get the funding your business needs in as little as 24 hours. There's no obligation, so apply today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Okay, so the scholarship continues to grow. Robin has just donated $104, so we're up to $5,250 plus another $1,000 match, so $6,250 on the week so far. Thank you to everybody. We are averaging over $1,000 a day, which is incredible. One more day tomorrow, and I will shut up about it for a while. But we want to grow this as much as we possibly can. For every $5,000 that we get donated, we get $1,000 match. So thank you to so many of the generous donors today. If you would consider, if you've prayed about it, and if you feel blessed and compelled to do so, please consider texting Annie26 to 41444. That's Annie26 to 41444 and make a donation. There are biblical stories about what you give. It's not the amount you give, but it's the generosity and it's the sacrifice. And it will bless you and it will bless local kids. And we're grateful for everybody who is donating in the capacity with which they are capable of doing that. So Lisa, lesastl.org/Annie. And you can text, if you so choose, Annie26 to 41444. All right, let's get back to the YouTube live chat poll before I get to the results here. Is masculinity making a comeback? What do you, when you read the word masculinity, this is certainly open to interpretation, but you guys are the men in the room. Ryan made Ethan leave. I don't know why, but when you guys are standing here looking at this poll question, and I use the word masculinity, define for me what that means.
It's
to you,
protective, and it is a quiet strength. It is confidence. And what else am I missing, Brad?
Dedication.
Commitment.
Yeah. A willingness to put your family before you, so you go without if they get. So make sure that you provide. So that's in the provision thing, but sacrificial. Yeah. You said quiet. I don't think it has to be absolutely quiet, but in check is a good way to describe it. And I also think that
there are two words that I can think of that you guys haven't said yet. I want to see if you say, if you're getting to that right now.
Marvelous.
3 words.
I don't know. Annie likes the word steady. It goes along with confidence, though. The steadiness comes with a confidence. I'm out of words.
Control and discipline.
Yep.
I think that masculinity, I like the idea of toxic masculinity. We've had this conversation many times as to whether or not it exists. From my perspective, it does. But toxic masculinity is essentially masculinity that has no control and no discipline. So all of the urges that make masculinity so importantly incredible for the survival of the human race. Let me not overstate that. All of the things that make masculinity entirely foundational to the function of society. If you take away the things that control that, the self-control and the discipline for that, then it kind of becomes toxically masculine. So, I mean, I know everybody's kind of, like I said, a subjective way of looking at that. But I think the biggest problem is that when we talk about masculinity and femininity, that they're talked about exclusively. Like, should women not be self-controlled? Should women, what were some of the words you said there?
Disciplined, confident,
dedicated.
Those are all feminine qualities. They just manifest themselves differently.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that the postmodern feminists of the world hear a man say that a man should be steady or disciplined or confident, all of these types of things. And they think that means that men are saying that belongs to men and that it doesn't belong to women because they hear that men should be confident, that women should be basically subservient. Well, absolutely not. I think men love confident women. But you have to understand it in the context of what our strengths are. And I do agree with what Brad was saying before. Like the next generation here that is coming up is looking at the gender washing that has taken place in the last 10 or 15 years. And they're like, hard pass, no thanks. I'd like to hunt something, even if it's just for fun. And I think that's great. I think that's actually unstoppable, at least for some amount of time. Ethan, you want to hit us with the results of today's poll?
224 votes is masculinity making a comeback. It's also the second straight day, and I think maybe the second time ever that I have been a part of this where we've gotten 0 votes on one of the options.
That doesn't traditionally happen.
0% say yes, but it shouldn't.
Good.
Only 2%.
That's why I love you people.
Only 2% say no and it shouldn't. 19% say no, but it should, and 79% say yes, and it should.
Let's let men be men and celebrate them for it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you want to participate, we've got one more day, and I'm asking you, I'm praying about it. I hope you are as well. Help me grow the Annie Fry Show scholarship for Lutheran education. Text Annie26 to 41444.
Spotlight on Health Trends, sponsored by LensSeek.
More than 31,000 children ages 5 to 9 go to the emergency room for dog bites each year. Tufts University has launched B-Bite Smart to teach kids as young as 3 how to read canine body language and respond. It uses animated stories, games, and songs to teach how a dog communicates and interprets our behavior so that behavior can be altered, preventing bites before they happen. I'm Margie Schaefer.
As a small business owner, if a sudden need or opportunity comes up, are you ready to act fast with the capital you need? With LensSeek, you will be, with up to $5 million in as little as 24 hours. Whether it's a credit line, term loan, or revenue-based financing, LendSeek's AI-enabled marketplace can match you with the right funders. More than 1,000 business owners have used LendSeek to access over $300 million in funding. Start ready and stay ready with LendSeek. Apply at lenseek.com.
Wondering if dangerous contaminants are in your home's water? Get Leaf Home Water Solutions today. We can't live without water, but we can take actions today to make it safer and healthier. Leaf Home Water Solutions is offering a free in-home water test. Just visit leafhome.com/free to schedule yours. With results from their advanced digital testing, Leaf Home Water Solutions can design a whole home system and expertly install it in as little as 1 day. With Leaf Home Water Solutions, you can feel confident that each drop of water from every tap and appliance is cleaner and safer for you and your family. We can't live without water, but we can take actions today to make our family's water safer with Leaf Home Water.